Howdy ho peeps, howdy ho, welcome one, welcome all. This is part 4 of our Sham Bollocks Dungeons and Dragons live stream, and hopefully you can join us. I'm just going to pop into Discord where we have our Dungeon Master Trent and our little nympho Sarah waiting for us. Hello.
Hello. We're just going over some D&D stuff. Okay.
We're currently awaiting 86, who said he'd be late. John Bob said he probably won't make it.
Yeah. He had our 86 also said that we could just start without him. So we're really just waiting for Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is in the game. He's logged into the game.
I know, and that's what's puzzling me. Is like, Paul.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, I'm live.
Maybe tell him in the chat or something.
He's not. It doesn't seem. I don't think he's in the chat yet.
Yeah, he's online.
It's not a proper live stream without technical difficulties.
Oh man, I have been nervous the entire day. I don't know why. And I think it's because I'm not in charge of the setting up the stuff. And it's just like, oh my god, I do this for like 6 other things.
Get in Discord, Paul. Move it. He's in the chat.
Okay. I just gotta remember what you guys did a month ago.
Yep, okay. You can do the recap.
Oh, yes. Okay, so last time the party managed to make it to Alton. They convinced Myasik to a goblin who works with the cult of Cyronicus to possibly turn himself in along with the Warforged that he had under his purview by the name of Eric. After meeting up with an individual by the name of Isra Toadspore, they boarded the airship known as the Onyx Feldspar and were transported to the Oasis. Within the Oasis, they were then introduced to the Dervish King, also known as King Ariak, of the Kingdom of Alton. There they were charged with... there they found that they've had assistance with King Ariak because he also has a grudge against the cult of Cyronicus since they tried to kidnap him and put a fake version of him on the throne. After that, they were sent to overseer number 2 of the Stone Syndicate, Inestor, and very old elven adventurer who was quite intrigued by the information that what he referred to as the Lich of Astrasen was once again walking the earth, and he was going to do some research into the Kingdom of Gant Evos and various other things that tie into how the party has been assigned to look for such items, such as the magical orbs, one which is held within Sarah's body, and other objects of power that may be connected to it, and the locations that some of these things might have been stored in. And after that, while he was doing that, or started to do that, the party went out to carouse the Oasis's entertainment districts and have pretty much a good downtime. So, at this point, we're going to go into our fancy little cinematics. So the party's making their way through the stalls and through the various watering holes that they find within the oasis. We cut camera to a Nestor. He is in a massive library. The shelves go at least 2 stories high and disappear into the blackness above of the room as he just looks and runs his hands over various shelves, taking 1 or 2 down every so often, adding them to the stack that he has growing in his offhand. Uh, Meanwhile, above the entirety of all 4 kingdoms in the starlit sky, these large black masses begin to converge over. There's dozens of them. We see inside one of them, each one is scaled similar to a fish in a slightly pyramidal fashion. So there's little pyramids all over it. Some are different colors, some are one solid color, and they are 2 distinct groups kind of converging in towards a central point over the kingdoms. Inside one of them, this thin-looking, very muscular individual, highlighter-ish, greenish yellow skin, long hair and beard braided carefully into tight, almost dreadlock-like knots with beads streaming through all of it. He sits there, or he stands upon the bridge of what appears to be some sort of ship through the open window in front of him, looking down onto the area of the kingdoms, his arms folded. Another one steps up next to him and he says, and we get little uh, subtitles as they talk in a foreign language. It's taking too long. Patience. Everything should be going to plan. I hate waiting. They're still off our starboard bow? Yes, they are. I hope they start something soon. This boredom's getting to me. Zooming down into a mountain range dominated by a massive peak, we go through the rock into a room. The natural cavern above, looking untouched as for millennia, being held up by white marble pillars, so pure that there's barely any veins of darkness in them at all. These pillars are set equally throughout the entire room, which is oval in design. The floor made out of equally pure marble as well, in huge blocks. The center is dominated by a small dais about 1 step up. In the center of this dais, there is a throne, and there are 6 medicine-sized holes around this throne. The single noticeable entrance has a man walk into it. He has a not silver hood. He has a red hood and stole over his head. And as he enters, he carefully pulls it back. His rather bland human features, seeming mostly friendly. There's a slight bit of gray to his hair, and there's slightly pointing to his ears, indicating an elven heritage. Finally, I found you. He walks the great distance between the entrance to this throne. He steps up and says, "So, tell me, where are the others? Where are the orbs?" And he touches one of the numerous runes that are carved into this throne and makes a quick pattern among them on one of the armrests, and they begin to glow faintly, running through a number of different colors, each through a different shade. And through the holes, this mist begins to come up. And it also has flickering colors through it, and it settles on this sickly, vibrant green, and it swirls up. And soon the whole room is full of this kind of mist, at least a foot off from the ground, and then it shatters outward, going with great force. Far above the mountain, we see this force continue out, and the green color burst out as a cloud and kind of dissipate, but over long minutes. In a town far below, a number of people look up as this loud noise comes from the mountain, and they see this strange luminescent cloud at night give you. And one of them says, "What do you think it means, Sledge?" And this large man, seemingly in an outfit made entirely of burlap, enough to, even to cover his face, grunts and goes, "I don't like it. Means trouble." As this is happening, a few minutes after the smoke has dissipated, from the vantage point of the strange individual on the bridge of the ship, these beams of light begin to emerge from the planet below. Uh, 6 different ones and double lights as well. As the party's walking through um, the streets of the oasis, all of a sudden Sarah just stops. She turns her head up to the sky, and all of a sudden, bright, intense light comes from her eye sockets and her mouth, solidifying into a solid beam up into the sky. Everyone around there starts to panic, and you see that this also is another one of those beams of light that they see. Um, Between the dark shapes of ships, you see a slight ripple of magical energy. Number of runes light up uh, in very specific patterns around these dark shapes that have not been seen before. And uh, the individual on the brow of the ship says, "Finally, call them." And the bridge crew comes in, starts working magical runes upon the consoles that are within it. And as they start moving, all of a sudden bursts of energy come from the 2 different sides, and they start peppering each other with small explosions as they move toward the atmosphere. As one begins to get the fires of reentry, a dark shadow with wings crashes into the side, and a piece of hull is ripped from it, and the ship begins to break apart, and a number of screams, and there's suddenly panic among the various different bridge crews as some things begin to attack and rip into the ships, and they don't know what's going on, and there's chaos and explosions all over the place, one completely disintegrating into pieces of charred bodies and bits of metal. Uh, as Nestor continues his search through the archives, all of a sudden a book falls from a high shelf onto its spine. It opens, and the pages flip in a non existent breeze, and the pages begin to light up as the magical ink on them lights up. And he goes over and he picks it up and reads through it quickly. And as this all comes to a close, the lights fade, the beams disappear, the throne goes quiet, the pages return to a normal hue. Uh, Sarah comes back to whatever had happened to her, totally fine, and we'll pick up there. What are you guys doing?
I missed all that. Can you say it again?
Yes.
Ah!
I'm
Hello,
gonna guess that what
everybody.
we're doing is they're staring at me because light just came out of every orifice.
Like what?
Well, not every orifice, just all the ones on your face, on the front at least.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Right.
I'm sorry. What were we doing again?
Okay, so you guys had asked Nestor, the overseer of the Stone Syndicate, to help you with some research about the magical orbs that you're looking for and some of the other magical items. While he was researching this, you guys decided to go have a drinking binge, and this happened during that. And For ease's sake, we can skip to the next day after everyone's kind of rested up a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that.
You receive a notice from Inestor in your rooms, telling you to pretty much come to the office. Some things have transpired and information needs to be shared.
Okay.
Okay. Let's trundle off wherever that is.
I assume Johnny swears a great deal, still drinking even at this early hour. You walk into the somewhat familiar office of Inestor. He sits behind a large wooden desk. Good. You're very prompt in your responses. I have information that you might be interested in. And he lays the same book that we saw in the cinematic on the table. I was searching the archives, the King's archives, and this book activated magically. This is of great concern. What it talks about is one of the ancient artifacts, one of the things locked away for the safety of all the planet has been activated. And I think it has something to do with the orb within your cleric.
Okay. Did Sarah see anything or feel anything when the lights came out?
No, I didn't recall it. That's what he said.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
I
just kind of
felt
like
warned.
Can we put her in a state of hypnosis and let me make her remember?
Character sheets.
Sarah's sleep.
Do you really cast sleep on Sarah? Do you have sleep?
I don't know. I'm just waffling.
You have the closest thing to sleep you have is Featherfall.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should just tell the guy about what just happened to me.
Yep. Go for that.
Okay, so go away updates. You tell Nestor of the beam of light and the mild panic, and he's a very stone-faced elf. He looks like he's perpetually frowning. This changes things. There is, and he kind of flips through the book. There is another orb said to be stored in the Citadel, an area to the southeast of here that once was a major stronghold for the Kingdom of Olton. It was by the name of Hua. I would suggest perhaps checking there to find if another orb still resides. Some reports have come in that one was there, that is possibly no longer, possibly destroyed, but it might hold more complete information as to these artifacts than what are in the archives, as there's scant little that I was able to find.
Do you reckon we should
Hi,
just...
Hatter.
Hello.
Hello, 86.
Hello, Hatter.
Hello.
Do you reckon we should head down there then and investigate?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll use Dougie's map on the stream. It's easier.
I have no idea where we are. I think we were at Bruno's safe house, were we?
You guys are technically somewhere within the weird eye-looking thing.
Alright, okay.
Oh, what's this palace thing?
Yes, the palace.
You had cinematics, you said. When are they coming?
I use the term cinematic as to describe that weird intro that I did,
Alright.
which unfortunately was long and overdrawn, and I ran through it so many times I started to muddle it in my own head. So,
It was fine for us. We understood everything.
Good. Though I can see chat, and I'm pretty sure that answer is no.
Man, I was trying real hard though. I promise.
I speak quickly. That's one of my my failings.
Your voice is so soothing. I'm like, oh, don't fall asleep. Like, it's so nice though.
It's not
Such
that.
a
It's,
nice voice.
for me, I'm a doer. For me to learn something, I need to do it.
That's
If
true.
if someone tells me something, and then
Don't worry.
if it's a lot of stuff, it just flies straight out.
Well,
So we
that,
obviously all did well in school.
I
So
could-
I
this
didn't
actually
really
is
know.
great because a lot of that information would be considered meta knowledge, and that's like one of the few ways you can technically cheat in D&D is to act on information that your character wouldn't necessarily have. So if you guys forget all of that, it makes that problem null and void, which is great.
Well, I
We
couldn't
have the
find
exact opposite of any kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
find chat for the first 5 minutes. So
Anti-matter, whatever you just said. Meta, anti-meta.
Yes, meta. An example would be
Plus, my character's dumb as well, so that's.
oh yeah, I was looking at one of your things, one of the spells, and it wouldn't work at all. It's actually just brings you to your normal AC, and I'm thinking about swapping that out later because that's absolutely useless. But yes,
What's useless? His brain?
no,
Yeah.
there's a spell called Mage Armor. If someone is not wearing armor and they cast a spell or cast someone on someone who does not have armor on, their armor class, which means how hard it is to hit them, increases to 13 plus their dexterity. And currently, Dougie's dexterity is -1, so his AC is 12 already. And so combine these two things would be 12. So it's literally just I cast magic on myself to have the exact same AC as if I
Yeah.
did not cast magic on myself.
Gotcha.
you can't blame him for trying, though, can you?
Hi, Frankie.
But he wants to look cool, so we'll let him do it.
Yeah.
Mage armor is actually kind of like invisible to an extent. It's just kind of like this
I can't
bare
find, like,
sheen.
sparkles or something.
Yeah. And Nestor tells you that Isra can get you a free ride down to Hua, which, if I will bring you back to the really crappily drawn main map, which will take a bit to load up, etc. If I actually did draw you guys, which I did. Oh, I did. Good. It's this little square on the southeastern portion of the map that is here.
Are we yellow?
No, those are things from other things. You are technically somewhere in this part.
Right.
Isra gets the Onyx Feldspar to fly you down to Hua. They drop you like a quarter mile out from it because the airships you are gathered from your initial interaction that it is it's hush hush to an extent because he told you he'd kill you if you told anyone about these. And you walk in. There is a number of like dig sites around this place, and there's like a lot of archaeologists and nomads taking up residence around here. Okay. What are you going to do? They're surrounding the citadel, which only looks like this weird kind of sand-colored block of stone with holes cut into it, amid a sea of tents.
And we have to get inside there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to. Get in there.
Anybody's watching, we've never really played Dungeons and Dragons before. I certainly haven't, and this is like our
I have
fourth stream of this, so please bear
We've
with
only
us.
played about 12 hours.
Yeah, that's about 3 sessions.
So
That's about 3 sessions. I've got on this account, including all the stuff for DMing and actually playing, I've got like 500 hours.
Oh shit!
Wow.
yeah, you're a good
The
dungeon
last-
master. We do appreciate you. It's just
Rookie
Yeah.
numbers.
Oh, I love doing this. You guys are taking to this really well, and I really love seeing your reactions. To give you an example,
Yeah, we apologize completely for our constant confusion of what's going on, and
Yeah.
because the fact is we do this like once a month, if not longer. when we come back to it, we're like,
Yeah.
what happened? What
Yeah,
happened last
it's
week? Last time.
Oh, this is why people take note, like real physical notes. I also have this trouble just going week to week, trying to remember all the stuff that happened because it is a lot.
Yeah.
But
What?
to give you an example, the last combat that I ran for a boss battle lasted like 12 hours, stretched over 3 different days.
Wow.
But it was a boss battle. It wasn't just like some combat.
Did they all die in the end?
No, they actually won, but they came really super close to dying, and they were
That'd
like
be great.
twice your level in an entirely different D&D style, which makes them demigods,
Hi,
pretty
Paul.
much.
Hi, Paul.
Okay.
Haven't seen you for ages. Hi,
Hey,
Paul. How are you
Paul.
doing?
Ball number
Oh,
2.
wow.
1.
We're not
Um,
nerds,
we-
Paul. We're just pretending to be nerds.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have any ideas to get into the Citadel. Does anyone have any ideas?
As somebody is approaching you, like kind of asking what the hell this weird group of people doing here, you hear the flutter of wings and like these shadows go over the tents, and this enormous bird lands, and there's this man, and this thing is huge, and there's a guy on the back of it. He has just he has parted hair parted on one side. It's just long enough to kind of blow in the wind, and he's his head goes into his neck, goes into his body, and he's got a beard. But he has he's a very thick chested man, and he's got this very well polished armor on. And he swings a leg over and gets off of the bird, and he walks up very confidently to the man who's just come towards you, and he says, "Who is in charge here?" Guy kind of.
We all point at one another.
Yeah. I point at Dougie. I point at
Ah.
Dougie.
Are
Hello.
these people in charge? The man goes, "No, these."
We work together. We are a team. We are the A team. We are. My name is Dongle. I am a wizard. How are you? What's your
Ooh,
name?
in charge of this settlement.
No, we're just in charge of the 4 of us.
Ah. And you, and he looks at the man, are you in charge of the settlement? Yes. Ah. My name is Cantor Iridius, captain of the Starborn Legions. And who is in command here? The guy says, well, wrong, and he kind of backhands him. I am in command. Now, you, what is your name? Half-orc. No, he didn't. He backhanded the guy who said that he was in command of the settlement.
Sorry.
You, half-orc. And that being Dougie.
What? Half orc?
Yeah, you're half-orc.
Alright, okay. Oh, half orc. What the fuck's a half orc?
How dare you? Oh wait, yes I am.
Half a knife or half orc?
Half pork.
You.
Yeah. I am not a fork. I am a half orc.
Yes. Your cadre here. They seem familiar. You wouldn't have done any work with the Bone Lord, perhaps.
We might have.
Might is not an answer I like to hear. It's either yes or no.
Say yes, say yes.
Well, we have done work for the Bone Lord, yes.
Good, good. Then you are his agents, as I first suspected.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
We are from the Silver Mountain.
We are the agents
We are
of
the Rock
Steel.
Riders. We have been sent down here to aid with the mutual treaty between the Dervish King and the Bone Lord. We were sent here. There was a strange light from the sky. Not one of the vertical pillars, a fireball crashing into the earth. We encountered some pieces of metal to the northeast of here. And this is the closest. And he kind of surveys the area a little bit in disgust. The closest form of civilization that is for quite some miles. So,
Yeah, we thought it was a shithole as well.
Don't
Well,
make
I
it
would
angry.
not use such a term, but I do wholly concur. Uh, we assume this is something to do with your assignment from the Bone Lord, yes?
Yes. That's why we're here.
As he says this, another couple of birds come down, and this elf gets down and walks up to him, and he has black hair. It's close cropped to his head, a little bit longer than we think of like a buzz cut. Uh, and he kind of looks at each and one of you, and you see that his left eye is sky blue, and the one on the right is hazel. And he just kind of nods politely. He says, yes. This is our greatest. This is one of our greatest scouts. He who walks in the sun. His eyes have seen dark shapes within the sky at night, and we have been tracking them from the oasis down to here. You haven't seen anything that looks bird-like other than our steeds here, have you?
Maybe.
Have we?
Sarah's got wings. That's about it.
Oh yeah. Drat. Well, do you have business within this brick of sand?
I think we've got to see Nestle, haven't we?
Yes.
Yes. Well, my men will make sure that none of this rabble give you any trouble. Go. I'll take care of things here.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Right.
And as you leave, you hear him start kind of like berating the guy who walked up to you on how poor the security, how terrible the tents are, the general living conditions, and it's just like, I'm glad I'm not that guy.
Guy's kind of a dick.
Sorry.
Well, he's Canto Iridius.
Say that
So
like it means something to me.
It
He's
should.
a rock rider. He's a rock rider.
he's a captain.
Captain Rock
Captain
Rider.
Rock Rider.
Oh my god. Oh shoot.
Yes.
Oh
So
god, a dragon.
You guys make your way through the camp, and you come to this this kind of blockhouse, and the doors are open. People are kind of milling around, and you go in, and there's a number of different hallways, and you kind of explore around, and you find some dead bodies, and there's like burn marks and marks of weapons on them, and they look like they've had their stuff taken. And you find a series of stairs that go down, and you follow it, and then there's a much larger area, and there's more bodies. It looks like heavy combat had taken place within the last month or two in this area, because these aren't like old desiccated bodies that you would find you expect to find in like in an ancient tomb. These are starting to dry out. And as you wander for a couple of hours down here, you notice that the light in Sarah's eyes kind of starts blinking, almost like turn signals, kind of directing you where to go, and you start to follow that.
Okay.
And you make it down to what feels like a much lower floor. There's more of a natural rock cavern here. And in this unnatural area where they've like worked stone and things and stairs, there is a couple of very large humanoid-sized holes in either wall, compared to the perfectly useful doors like 10 feet away from each of the holes. And there's a lot of these daises around. And as you come in, the light in Sarah's eyes flashes brighter, and you see this like almost moon dust or like crushed gems across the floor in the center of this area, and it kind of reacts to it, and then the light fades, and then you're and the stone sinks, and stairs wind down into the floor.
Sorry, my dog didn't like that.
I think that's a sign we go down.
He's scared.
Should we go down then, doggy? Yeah, we'll go down the stairs.
Is now canon Tipsy's in control of Colin's character? All right. You make your way down. This area is much less dusty and lived in looking than the areas above it. There's more pools of water. There are a number of very graphic murals on the walls.
And nudity?
There is some nudity over in one corner, but for the most part, there are these large depictions of things that look like humans, but they have these large outstretched wings, and they're kind of stylized with their arms outstretched looking skyward. And on another one, there are similar ones, but without wings, and they're just kind of looking down towards the ground with their heads bowed. And there is writing. And there's like not a pattern, there's like a story that's told through these murals, and it looks as if the ones looking down are roaming the planet, and the ones that are looking up are somewhere up in the sky.
Who can read? I haven't got good reading or whatever it is.
Is it written in a foreign language? Is it?
Yeah, is it in?
I actually don't remember what your guys' languages are.
It's okay, neither do we.
Hatter's just off staring in the corner at the nudity.
Well,
How can read and speak Common and Halfling.
Common
Wait.
error.
Well, Common is literally what we're speaking in now. It's the trade language. Let me check
Dang
out
it.
something for Colin.
oh,
Where's
nice roll,
Colin?
Sarah?
Offshore.
He speaks Common and Infernal, but he does not have anything in regards to being able to read languages because he's not that kind of warlock. That's unfortunate.
Jonah Bob?
Bob. He speaks Common, Dwarvish, and Elvish,
Elvish.
but he doesn't have anything. You gather that from the way it's written, it's some form of Old Common, kind of like the equivalent of us speaking Old High German compared to modern German.
Okay.
So some of it kind of makes sense. Other parts of it, just like, what in the hell is that word even supposed to mean?
Can someone cast like a perception and see if they can get a few words out of it? I've only got one
I don't know.
perception, so it's.
I don't know what I speak.
Dougie might have good
mind you.
perception.
Would perception help with reading?
I don't know.
Perception is more of what you can see around you.
Okay.
What about investigation?
I forgot to add Common to your list of languages. I'm sorry, Paul, but you can also read things Thieves can't.
Hey, what? What?
You can read and use Thieves can't, which is a special thing that rogues can do.
Does that help?
No.
Okay.
This
Thanks for being here, everybody. Bye.
This would either be something along the lines of an insight check or an investigation
Okay.
or history.
My insight and investigation are really poor, so.
It doesn't really matter. I forgot. Dang it! I forgot to get your character like your skills and stuff. I'll try to send that to you at some point.
Okay.
Your insight is +6, and your history is +4.
Okay.
Oh.
But don't let any rolls that you make be affected by your skills. You are more than your character sheet. The character sheet is just kind of condenses the information of what you can do into a way that we can all kind of understand. but doesn't mean like, oh, I'm gonna try to do a backflip off of the wall. Oh, I have really poor athletics, and it's like, no, you're gonna try that because that's what your character wants to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna do it because I have a high acrobatics score.
Gotcha.
Well, then I'm gonna cast Insight. Or roll on Insight.
Because you are more than your character
Yeah,
sheet.
because I believe that I. Shit. What have I
That's
clicked
my
on?
new. That's my new slogan.
Where's my
Oh.
insight bit again? Oh,
I want to like.
It
Core.
is.
Oh yeah, I
You
got
see
it.
where it says armor class?
Yeah, I am. Clicked
Core.
out of my bio for some reason.
Insight -1. Oh, okay. I won't
Oh,
bother
you
with
can
that.
you can still try. You can still try because the way your character is, I don't think he would. He doesn't consider himself stupid because he doesn't know.
But we all
Okay.
know he's
Isn't
dumb.
that all of us?
He doesn't know. You guys know. He doesn't. I'm pretty sure he thinks he's the greatest wizard of the land, despite the fact that he is in fact a sorcerer. And there's a difference between those two. Okay,
I am
so
Dongle the wizard. I am the most powerful wizard in the world.
I
yeah,
just
you're so
picture
good
that,
you don't even have you're so
I'm-
good you don't even have to learn spells from scrolls like other wimpy wizards do.
No, I mean I'm mega.
I always just picture that comic thing that Trent sent.
Yeah,
Of
that
WB.
literally is how I view him. That's the mental picture I get when I think of Dongle the wizard with the hat and everything. Okay, between the two of you, you can figure out that it says something along the lines of when the watchers fall, pray the sentinels are not released.
Oh.
So are the watchers the ones that are down? Are the ones with the wings? Looking up,
Yes,
looking down,
you gather that the watchers are the winged ones.
and the sentinels are the ones that were looking down at the ground.
Yes.
Wait, and who were the people dead outside? Were they just normal people?
There was a troll, a couple of humans, some elves, some dwarves,
Okay.
people that were definitely not these murals.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there anything else in the room? Is there like
Uh,
an exit?
There are this is like a hallway with the stairs leading down to it. There is an area going off to the left from the stairs, an area going off to the right from the stairs. There's more water, it seems to be on the right.
Let's go right.
Okay.
Should we split up?
Haha. Outside of character. Rule number 1, never split the
Yeah.
party.
Okay, let's go left. Right, sorry. Right, let's go right. Or left.
You hear Dongle say, "Let's go left," and start walking right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You make your way through a number of places. There are a lot of these kind of standing pools, and you get the feeling that these are kind of fed by natural springs, or some sort of the equivalent of a plumbing system. But most of you think of like some strange magic which pumps this water and creates it here. You pass through a number of places, and there seems to be more scuffing. Like people have been walking here recently. And as you kind of turn this corner, you come up on a standoff. And there are these a larger group versus a smaller group of these thinnish, heavily corded, muscled individuals. Not like big bulking muscle, but everything is really defined in their musculature, but it's really tight.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. And they're just standing there. One side has like swords and this armor and chest plates and stuff like that, and they have long hair and it's braided, and they've got like it's not a large amount of beard. It's like it's somewhere between like if you took a Norse Viking and then you made him Asian. It's very narrow. It's very narrow and controlled, but not very expansive. But there's still a lot of it.
It's a
On
great
the other
description.
side, you have all of them have shaved heads, but they all have very close cropped beards. And th- there's two ones in the front. They're facing off against each other, and they're clittering back and forth in this strange hard consonant language with a lot of clicks in it that you're not really, you have no idea what it is. And um, yes, they're speaking in Tipsy. Um, and the way their body language goes, it seems like they're having kind of a smack talking session, and it's starting to kind of escalate a little bit as that happens. The one on the left pulls out this large sword. The blade seems to kind of liquefy a little bit and then solidify into these very weird kind of curves and shapes and different swirls on the side of the blade. And as he does this, the tone of the conversation changes immediately, and the ones behind the one on the right just kind of take up a position, and the ones on the right robes they look like almost clerks in the way they're dressed, but it's in a much different fashion than you've seen anywhere in Olton or Senless. It has the same kind of feel as what you would wear just like normally compared to the obvious armors of the other side, but they have a much different cultural feel to them. And as this happens, you see like the other ones utter something. It seems like a very caustic quip at the other guy, and he kind of reels back a little bit. And as he does so, he notices your group off on the stairs, and then he kind of raises his blade up and points it at you, and the words you don't understand the words, but it sounds like an order, and it seems like he's saying them too. And I need initiative rolls.
Oh, dicks.
What do you mean you need initiative rolls?
We're all gonna die.
Okay, so when combat starts, you roll for initiative, which I'll roll for that for you, Sarah, because you can't ever access your character sheet
I know.
because reasons. All right, fantastic. You got a 5. All right. Initiative is up near the top on core. It's in the middle of those 3 weird boxes and shields, in the central part of right underneath your race and class level. All right, 19 for Hatter.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm
So initiative is 4. Fantastic. 4 for Dougie. So initiative works in that you roll a 1d20 plus your initiative modifier. 20 for Paul. That's pretty good.
Nice one, Paul.
I'll also roll for Johnny since Johnny's here, and I'll probably have to roll for Colin as well. Dang it. Well, I'm gonna have to get your 2 characters now. Yay. Okay. 6 for Johnny. And Colin has rolled. If he rolls really good, I'm going to be amused. Oh, he rolled a 19. He goes after Hatter. Okay. So, initiative works in that you roll 1d20 plus your initiative modifier, and whatever that is, you can roll anywhere between like 1 and like 30. And that determines where you go or when you go in a turn thing.
So,
So
all these guys, the ones that are marked in orange and green,
yes.
we've got to waste them all.
The ones that are marked green are on the side of the one that kind of indicated you two, and the other ones seem to just be they were in conflict with the green ones already.
Yeah, I'd be less worried about the guys in conflict with the green guys.
And the
Which
ones
is-
We're
on
fighting
the
green guys.
So you just sneak
Yeah.
past them.
I don't think no, like
they've
he
already
pointed
seen
a
you.
sword at us.
All right.
The orange one, the ones with the orange dots, they look like they just dressed in robes, and not a weapon or a piece of armor on any of them. And the other side, lots of breastplates, lots of armor, lots of blades. So,
Tipsy no.
Tipsy,
Tipsy.
yes.
Tipsy
sick.
says, "Fight, fight him."
Top of the initiative order, one of the orange ones.
Mm. Should we go and ask them hello?
Moves
Oh.
over to the left-hand side and takes up a position, plants his feet very specifically, and holds his hands in front of himself. All right.
This one's a hug.
One of the heavy armor ones pulls out a sword and comes up, and he attempts to attack the orange one that just came up. Okay, now I have to put in a bunch of complex equations. It sounds a lot worse than it actually is. Ooh. As he comes towards this individual, you see a strange sheen over his blade. Like there is a slight rainbow effect, despite the fact that it's not a very reflective metal. And there's like a slight screaming noise as it goes through the air. And
Is it mystified or witchified or something like
you currently don't know. He comes in. He comes in. The first strike, the one with the orange dot easily just dodges, but on the backstroke, catches him low along one of his legs, and he reels back in pain. And there's like a very definite flash from the blade as that happens. Where's the other one? You hear running as one of the ones in the back. Oh, sorry. That was out of order. Well, that one's still staying there. Paul, it's your turn. You have you've seen that they mean to draw blood. One side is fighting. You're in the back. What are you doing?
Which ones are the ones we were meant to be fighting?
The green guys.
The green ones, okay.
Green dots to easily, you know what? Since you guys know they're probably enemies, I'm just going to change them to red.
I knew it. I knew it all along. The second he pointed the sword at us, I was like, there's something fishy about him.
Oh yeah.
I
Seems
mean-
like a villain.
I cast some, I used my perception.
Ravenblade says we should just fire a fireball into the... It's a good way of starting an interaction.
Yeah,
Cannot
solid
move
plan.
that far, Paul. Your movement, which is, if I remember correctly, your movement is a land speed of 30. Each one of these squares is 5 feet. So, that's not what I want. So, 1, 2, 3. You'd be able to get here at best if you wanted to go this way. Or out to here, this is where the rules of mechanics kind of start to be a pain in the ass. This is pretty much how far you can move for your turn. Okay.
Is that Paul going there, is he?
Going for a little flank.
Are you going to do anything else?
You going to take him from behind?
Is Paul Noise muted? Or is he muted?
I don't know.
I can't hear Paul, but
Or is he in
Okay, yeah.
serious battle mode?
Maybe he's thinking. Is that him using the? Oh,
he's
moved.
not. He's not muted.
Yeah.
Paul,
we can't hear you, Paul.
we can't hear you.
He's just in character. He's like sneaking up in his
Yeah,
guy.
he's
He's in
stealth.
stealth mode.
So, all right, so you can make if you wish to attack him, he's gone. All right.
Oh,
He's might try and come back.
He might. Gone. Hello.
Paul.
Blink twice if you can hear us.
Yeah, just like move your character up and down if you can hear us.
Or ping.
You're connected
this
now.
is-
It just says.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pinging. Is that him pinging?
No, that's me pinging.
Oh.
His
shit.
is a weird yellowish mustard
Oh
tint.
yes, I see. Yeah.
Technical. There, yep,
moving.
he can hear
Moving
us.
and
You can
ping.
hear. Okay. What do you want to do? Type it in the chat if you can't see it.
Yeah, you can also type in the chat over in any of these. If you want, okay, he's typing. Type faster, Paul. Okay, so roll. Make sure your sneak attack is on your thing. Make sure sneak attack is checked, and then click whichever your weapon you wish to use, because I'm assuming you're using a rapier and short sword, one in either hand. You have 2 attacks, with one hand and the other with the short sword. And since you are actually flanking him, you do hit with both of those. So click on rapier and short sword in the chat, which would be on the lower part, and it should roll the damage for you. Yeah, where you see your rolls, where you're actually typing. Where you're actually typing, you see the word short sword and rapier. Click on those. Yes. Click on each one of those, and you minimized. Okay. And that's the damage you've done. So you have done 18 plus 18 is 37. 37 points of damage have been
Hey, can
dealt.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
37 points of damage. This guy was not expecting this day. You kind of slide up on the other side of him, and he looks at you, and as you do that, you like stick him right in the ribs and stick him low in with the short sword. You've damaged him very badly.
Nice.
I'm not
oh
gonna-
God.
I'm not gonna lie. I was panicking a bit when I couldn't speak.
Oh, I get it. I totally get it. The only thing that really makes me angry is when people can't hear me.
I was
on,
panicking more
comms.
when you told me to type.
What was that, Trey?
Oh my god! Type faster! Oh god, sorry about that. Okay.
No, I have
Um,
I can't type.
I get it. Despite the fact that I make my living, I make money by writing, I still type with 2 fingers. Okay. 86.
Fingers.
It's your turn.
Awesome.
Oh no.
I'm
You're gonna
gonna
hit him-
use. I'm gonna hit him with an old classic shatter.
Okay, remember that is
It's
an
got a
area
range.
attack.
It's a
It's
what?
attack?
It's an area attack. So whatever's
Oh yeah, it's
location,
a 10-foot radius.
yes, or something like that.
And I got a 60-foot range.
Yes. Just gonna check that out.
Is it a 10-foot range? Yeah.
60-foot range, and then it's a 10-foot radius. Yeah.
I don't know how to, like mark the
Okay,
radius.
so,
I
like,
want.
Just like
Oh, just ping it.
Do you want to put it here?
I guess I'm gonna go bang in the center. That'll hit 4 of
Okay.
those guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a
So
good
all
call.
4 of these guys are going to get it.
Yeah. They gonna get it.
Yes. So there should be an attack labeled Shatter underneath
Yep,
your attacks and
that's right.
spellcasting. All right. Click on that.
Yeah.
Not in your spells, in your core bio. Your core.
On my core. Okay. Sorry.
Yes. That's
I'm not
underneath
panicking.
your.
You're panicking.
So you know where you hit your initiative and your hit points.
Yeah.
All right, in that column, the next largest box. It should say attacks and spellcasting at the bottom. In the bottom of that, it should say Shatter. Click on that.
Oh yeah, I got you. Cool.
Yes. Okay, now, if I remember correctly, just switching over to that, your spell DC is 15. So, it is also a Constitution save, I say as a question to myself. Yes, a Constitution saving throw of 15 in order to have these guys only take, is it half damage? They take half damage. Okay. So 11 damage. That's not too bad. We have to find out if they actually take it yet. That's a fail. That's a fail. That's a
Oh,
really
man.
bad fail.
Oh my
That one
god.
succeeds. No,
Yes.
that means that they are fully affected by your thing when they fail.
Oh. Okay. Sweet.
All right. So most of these they take 11 points of damage. And a shattering sound of thunder erupts right in the middle, and they are kind of flung against the. I forgot to put this guy's health there. Okay, that's great. And they are kind of thrown against the pillars that they're standing by. Ugh. Huh? They kind of look around, trying to find the source of this. Does that end your turn?
That. Yes. Yeah. That's my turnover.
Okay. I don't actually have Colin's token on here, so we'll just skip him. Just cross that out because I forgot to get it there. The leader of the very much of the brown ones, for lack of a term,
Oh,
the
so
orange.
the little helmet, is that the leader people then, is it?
Yeah, that's to help me differentiate to who the hell they are. Those are the little angry face thing is
Okay.
the leader. He just rushes up towards the guy with the big old sword that he was just talking smack to, and let's see what happens. All right, what is his armor class? Ooh, good. The first. This is the only boring part about combat. He runs up and he just sticks his fingers straight into this guy's throat.
No, I don't know how that's going.
Well,
Lovely.
and you see like this little burst of kind of rainbow colored energy come from his forearm into the guy's neck. The guy reels back, and as the second hand comes in, is that reeling backwards is just enough for him to miss the second strike. Okay.
Very Indiana
Brutal.
Jonesy.
Yeah. Let it all out, Trent. Whatever you're. Let it all out.
Who's next?
One of the warriors rushes up behind Paul, and he takes out his sword, and he is going to attempt to attack you.
I've got a roll of const. Is this what is it?
What is your AC?
DC.
AC.
DC.
Initiative, the thing to the left.
Oh god. Thing to my left. What, in the big squares?
In the big squares, you see where you roll your initiative. There's something called armor class just to the left of that.
It's in the shape of a
15.
shield.
15. Yeah, sorry.
15. Okay. So.
Oh, I got dodge though, haven't I?
Let me read up on that.
I
I'm
have
not
uncanny
too.
dodge.
I'm not very well versed.
Did he get to jump on you? Is he like kind of?
You can attempt to have the damage, if you wish.
Is that after the hit or before the hit?
When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's a reaction, if I remember correctly. So you're doing uncanny dodge to take half the damage. So I'm just
Yep.
making sure. Ooh, yes.
Is that good or bad?
Hang on, I just have to actually roll said damage. Yeah.
Exciting.
Okay. Mark off on your current hit points. Minus 16. That should drop you down to 50. As one of the great sword attacks that he makes against you just cuts across you, and then there's this horrible screaming in your head. And it feels like your brain kind of squeezes in on itself for a few seconds, and there's this kind of buzzing in your ears after he attacked you, and that's enough for you to stumble. Oh, sorry, not 16. Since you have the damage, you take 8 points of damage. So add 8 back to your thing, so that'd be 58 on your health.
All right. Yeah.
Another one moves in. One of the other robed ones rushes up to a man on the other side, and he attempts to attack him as well.
Who? What?
He's not attacking you.
Oh,
It's moved on from your turn, or that guy's turn. All right.
You're all surrounded, man.
He also. Oh, well, that's right. That was an advantage. I should have rolled another attack for that, but that's okay. You also hear the sickening thwack of bone as one of the bald-headed men rushes up to the other side and just like giant kicks this guy's head into the side of the wall, and the guy bounces back off of it. The leader of the red dots makes an attack with his shimmering silver sword against the leader that attacked him.
Which one's him?
The orange dots.
You know which one's the leader, the red? Right, okay.
He's got the skull.
The weird little face.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Against the orange face. We'll call him Donald.
Oh, this could be bad. That is the wrong roll. Okay.
Hey, Alec.
Ooh. Hello, Magoo. The silver sword just cleaves into this man's chest twice, and he reels back, kind of clutching at his head a little bit, and then with great determination, he readjusts himself to face his opponent again. All right, finding more things. I forgot to do that one as well. This is a bag of fail. One of the others rushes more towards to assist his leader. The other one rushes up there, and come on.
It's almost like playing a game of chess with yourself.
Pretty much. That's the only problem with DMing, but all right, it's now Johnny's turn. Okay. Seeing that it's actually time to take heads, you see the generally 4-foot tall dark dwarf suddenly extrude into an 8-foot tall dark dwarf,
Balls.
and he,
Which one?
Johnny,
Oh, okay, JB. Okay.
yes,
He will do the most absurd physical attack he can. That would be
Yeah.
his.
he's gonna make an attack with his
Sp-
great sword if he can move.
What
that
about his
far,
spear? Is
And he'll probably
Yeah.
want a
is-
head on the end of it as well.
Mhm.
He'd probably attack the orange guys, not him.
Seeing the guy with the biggest, greatest looking sword and the nicest looking beard, Johnny's going to go fly into a rage. Wait, no, he can't fly into a rage and extrude himself.
What happens if he dies in this when he comes back next time?
He won't.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
He
I'll
doesn't
save
come
him.
back.
He'll be fine.
That's in quotes. I can fully hear the quotes. He'll be fine.
You should see the look on my face right now.
Ooh, okay. So the first attack hits. Johnny does 8 slashing damage to this guy, who's completely blindsided by a giant dwarf coming in with a greatsword. And the next attack misses because he technically does have advantage because this man's distracted.
Enemy should have gone.
Ah!
Favors.
It's your turn.
My turn. Okay, so I have a question. Since most of my stuff is really just healing, the only one that I can see is inflict wounds. But I'm afraid if I get too close, I'll get hurt and then not be able to help them.
All right, so you have a really good armor class of 19.
Okay. So you think I
you
should
also
just go
have
on in?
you also have Sacred Flame.
Oh, that's right. I do have Sacred Flame. Which one is better? I didn't really understand the description for Sacred Flame, so I
Okay,
don't know which
so
one's better.
pretty much, it has a range of 60 feet. Pretty much, you
Mhm.
could just cause fire to burst out on something
Mm-hmm.
or onto something, and it does a standard long sword attack amount of like light or radiant damage. Otherwise, and if they fail the dexterity saving throw, which means that as it comes down at them, they can attempt to dodge it, and either they don't get hit by it or they take 1d8 radiant damage.
Oh.
Or for
Mhm.
inflict wounds, you go up and slap a fool, making a melee melee spell attack and possibly do 3d10 necrotic damage.
I think I want to do the long range first.
Okay. Which one would you like to try it on? Would you like to try it on the leader or like one of the ones in the farther back there are? Just
The
kind
leader,
of
can't I won't hit,
Yeah.
but will I hit whoever that is in the middle there? Is that Jonah Bob?
Sacred Flame works as a very pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
not an area attack.
Okay. Oh.
Do you want to try to scorch leader?
Yep.
Okay. So we go over here and we click on this. There it is, Sacred Flame. All right. Ooh. You do 10 radiant damage if he does not make his dexterity saving throw. Which he critically failed the points of radiant damage as fire or holy fire just erupts from him. Okay, so you have your movement and you have a bonus action. You just want to kind of stay there and float around?
I do.
Okay. Dougie! It's your turn.
Dongle time.
Remember,
Can I hit him with a fireball? All of them.
I'm just about to look at your spell list. You have Fireball. It has a radius, 20-foot radius. So if you were to toss it here, you would get
Sorry.
Jonabob, you'd get Paul, you get pretty much
Yeah.
most of everyone in here.
What about if I
If you cast it there.
if I threw it a bit further back?
If you threw it a bit farther back, you would only get Paul and one of the orange guys. But Paul has uncanny dodge and a really good reflex save.
And asbestos underpants.
Yes.
It's only
And he
Paul.
has special underpants.
Right, go for
For the
that one.
greater good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
There you go.
click on your core. Click on your core.
Core.
All right. You know where your hit points are? That 54 right in the middle.
Yep.
All right. Go down. There's going to be a kind of a long list. Second from the bottom, it should say Fireball.
There we go.
All right. Click on Fireball. There we go. 24 fire damage, and I think the save is half damage. The save being, I'm switching over here to look at your thing. Don't be alarmed. Dex save, and your spell save is 15. Okay. So, Paul, on the upper left-hand side of your character sheet, just right by your ability scores,
Yeah.
there's a little box that says saving throws. I need you to click on the word dexterity.
Has anybody got a revive spell?
Dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah does.
That's fine.
Have I got? Oh right, yeah. Just under proficiency bonus, that box under there, yeah.
Yes. Okay. You take 24 points of fire damage.
Oh,
Wait, no,
shit.
wait. You take 12 points of fire damage because you have uncanny dodge.
that's 46, isn't it?
No. You get, oh yeah, 46. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the damage. I'm used to
No.
playing with ridiculous amounts of damage, 80 points of damage in a turn, which would kill most of you in one hit.
Sounds good.
Now I just gotta roll a crap load of dexterity saving throws. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 for that modifier. So, all right, save. No save. 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 No save. No save. Save. No save.
So what are you doing now?
No save. I'm rolling their dexterity saving throws. So 12 points of damage.
Is this for all the characters that are in the area?
This is for your enemies now.
Okay.
All right. All right. This is where I also do a lot of quick math in my head.
Buy a calculator.
Yeah, but I still have to put it. Nah. Why
See
do
you
that?
later, Paul. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, Paul.
See you, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Well, that's interesting. Now for the other one. Please make the save. All right, he made the save, so he only takes 12 points of damage.
It says you've subscribed as well. Thank you. I never got a notification.
That's strange. Dougie, you summon up a large mote of fire and you toss it a little bit farther in the back, and there's this massive explosion. Fire goes everywhere, burning most of these strange armored men slightly catching one in the back, and one just dies, collapsing in a burning heap behind one of the pillars. You don't really see it because it's not within your line of sight, but it still hits. You accidentally singed Paul just a little bit, but everyone is a lot less healthy than they were before.
Excellent.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
And that ends the first set of initiative, which means it is now top of the round. The one who has 69 health, right next to Paul.
Heyo.
69 dudes.
What on my left?
The one directly below you,
Oh.
the orange one. He is going to make an attack on the guy in front of you, or just to your right. And yes, he makes his 2 attacks. Hang on. I was going to use averages for him. Oh, yeah, no. You see him kick low, bring the guy down to one knee, and then with one hand just karate chop his head off.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's dead. Okay. I'll think of the other boy.
Yeah.
You should recruit that guy.
I mean, why not? Where is the other
I'll
one?
add him on Twitter.
One of the other ones moves and tries to attack the one that was only slightly singed by Dougie's attacks.
Be right back.
It's not like you need to be here anyway. +2. Ba-da-da-da.
I like the incidental music.
You're welcome.
That's cool.
He lands 2 strikes against the robed one, cutting into his back, surprising the hell out of him. And the leader of the orange ones, also prepares to make his attacks. All right, he manages to land a couple of hits on the enemy leader. And also, just kind of, you see him kind of knee him into the chest underneath his armor, and then just clamp his hands on the other side of the guy's head and just thumbs into his eyes and down.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And this guy goes down as well. For feck's sake, you hear Johnny shout. Okay. All right, that guy's dead, so I can just mark him off too.
I
Oh,
think Dongle's just come back from the fridge.
we're wasting
Okay.
them away. Yes.
86. It's your turn. Oh damn! No,
Is
it's
it
Paul's
Paul?
turn.
Yeah.
It's Paul. My notes for this combat are very confusing. Forgive me. Paul, it's your turn.
So which way's the one to my left facing?
He's looking at you.
Okay.
All right,
He's
so
gonna
here's
see
a,
me wherever I move, isn't he? Like, can I go behind
if you
him? I go.
if you can sneak attack damage works if they can't see you and then you attack, or if you are flanking someone. So like
Right.
where you are compared to the dead guy and the guy who first attacked you, that's a flanking arrangement. But
Okay.
he can obviously see you, so you're going either to have to try to disengage, which I think you might have as a rogue. That might be your
would that be?
cunning action. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns. You can use it to dash, disengage, or hide. So disengage is just like, I'm out of here and you can't hit me with a attack of opportunity. That's underneath your cunning action skill. So as a bonus action, you could literally just nope out of there and go to a different place
Yep, I'll nope out of here.
with
Uh,
within your movement speed. Or
How
you
do I
can
Don't
just
think
ping
take
you'll
again?
survive?
How can
You
I
don't
ping?
think you'll survive a fight with that guy?
I don't want to fight him.
You don't want to survive? Well then.
No, I don't want to fight him. But how can I ping?
You can
I'm
hold.
thinking,
Click and
can I
hold.
go
Use the dog.
here?
Um.
No, I can't.
Also, go through all these guys' attacks of
Okay,
opportunity.
yeah, that's
there.
what about up here?
Uh.
I want to try and get behind someone without them seeing me.
Your best chance actually would just to duck around this corner and use your action to hide.
No.
Or actually,
No.
yeah, no. There's a
Nice.
there. You could try to hide over here or up here. So you could disengage through
No,
this guy's.
Let's do this guy.
Oof. Okay.
That's what she
Um,
said.
You could run up to here using your disengage and hide behind there because no one would have a very clear line of sight, and you would be able to get sneak attack your next turn.
Okay, let's do that. Up there, yeah. Yeah. Have I gone quiet again?
No, no.
Oh, I can't hear Trent.
I
Oh,
can't
no,
hear Trent
so-
either. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I was muted. Holy crap. Okay.
I got scared.
All right. Yeah, you could go over there. You're hidden. No one can see you, except for Tipsy apparently. And
Yeah, my animal handling's -1, so I'm probably gonna die.
86. It's your turn.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I've had kids crying in the background, and people have to go be dad. So yeah.
Right, I'm gonna cast Stinking Cloud.
Oh God.
He's gonna fart everywhere.
Tee-hee.
That's why I ran up there.
It's got a 30-foot square radius.
30-foot square radius. All right.
Favorite.
30.
Is that Hatter in the middle there, where you are? Is that little white thing?
That's Hatter is right.
I'm
Here.
Oh,
safe
down
and
there.
sound away from the.
And this is
Stinking
Sour.
Cloud.
Look how small she is.
Holy
was-
shit!
I was
I'll have to
looking
wait
at that
for-
one.
The stream.
She's
I'll let you
trapped
know
on the
about
step. Help!
I was just
Like
looking
she's on top of a mountain.
Well, that's me. That's 86, isn't it? And that's Sarah.
Maybe my Stinking Cloud
Ah,
is
okay.
a bit extreme.
I can't see myself on Dougie stream.
There,
Uh,
the little black blob circle.
You can also zoom in really close to get a better look at her.
Oh, that's why. Cause I think on the stream your little like widget thing is in the way. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
You know what? Stinking Cloud's a bit extreme, so I will go for what do I have here? Concentration, which is a 20-foot radius sphere of
What?
nauseating gas.
Oh.
I'll go for concentration. 'Cause
I-
I think
you-
I
what?
think with Stinking Cloud I'm gonna hit Paul.
You're gonna pretty much hit everyone if you put it anywhere in the middle.
I
You say
really want to use it
concentration.
though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll go concentration.
Concentration is literally what your wait, where is it? There's stinking cloud, and then if it's a little bit lower and it says concentration, that is the type of spell that it is.
Oh,
Yes. So Stinking Cloud is a concentration spell. So pretty much you make a gas cloud and you focus on it,
Oh,
and
sorry.
it'll stay there.
I thought for some reason I read Stinking Cloud as 30-foot radius. Oh, it's only 20. Oh, that's fine.
Stinking Cloud's a range 90 feet and it has a 20-foot radius. Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, Stinking Cloud. And I'm gonna
Okay.
drop it in the center of those guys. I should be able to miss Paul.
Probably do that dodge thing again if it doesn't. So, it's up to you.
Got it. Oh, I'll miss Johnny at least, will I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll miss Johnny.
It hits pretty much everyone.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I think it's.
Wait, what are you doing?
We just need your healing powers shortly, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
casting Stinking Cloud.
Is it gonna hit me?
No.
No, you're far enough away.
I think last time I cast this, Colin died or almost died.
Well, that was because he decided to try to dodge past a giant tree thing that backhanded him into
Oh, yeah.
unconsciousness.
That's right. All right, Stinking Cloud it is. Oh, I can't pick that from the core page, can I?
It just happens. Really.
Okay,
it does.
perfect.
And they have to make a saving throw. Everyone has to make a saving throw. Put this in on the map just so that people can actually still see themselves. And
Perfect.
Paul,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a
Dexterity.
go to those saving throws again.
Mhm.
And you.
Okay.
Sorry. When the time is right, you're going to need to cast or use Constitution save, but not right now because it only happens if you end your turn in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, is that all you're going to do, 86?
I think I've done enough, Trent. I really do.
So this horribly reeking cloud comes up in the middle of this enclosed space and just consumes pretty much everyone. And it starts to like, oh.
Back in the school changing rooms again.
Okay, so one of the ones makes it out of the cloud, kind of holding his nose a little bit, and begins to attempt to attack one of the orange ones. As I do like 16 different clicks to get something done. Right.
I swear it was that meal that we had at Baba's last night. I swear to God.
Baba's still waiting for you. He manages to miss both of the attacks on the bald one. The one goes between one of the bald ones and Johnny, and since he is 8 foot tall,
He's
much
rising
looking like
above it.
no, that's
Oh.
the Stinking Cloud is very, very much a very large area. Like it's like 10 feet tall, if I remember correctly, or just affects everything in a 20-foot radius. He's going to attack Johnny because he's the biggest, angriest looking thing here. Johnny's armor class is 16. Only one attack hits. So he takes yes, that much tipsy. 17 points of damage in total, none of which is removed because he is not raging currently. 17. dropping him down to 67 hit points. It's still a pretty good chunk. I'm just checking to make sure that they aren't actually in. All right, good. Okay. One of the bald one's going to turn on the guy who's attacked him, and he is going to attack in return. Only one of his attacks hits, and he does that amount of damage to this individual, and he just kicks this guy in the throat, causing him to collapse dead on the ground. And he is going to then use the rest of his actions to run out of the stinking cloud so that he does not start to choke because it just smells bad. Okay. Oh yeah, that guy's dead.
Yes.
Goes just to the edge and attempts to attack the commander of the bald ones. And only one only one attack connects.
Shout out to Knack on the PlayStation.
The connect neck. All right.
Knack 3 for PlayStation 5.
Oh god.
Just calling it.
What did you say?
Day 1 launch title.
Yep.
Okay, and now he has to make a Constitution saving throw. Which he fails, and he starts puking onto himself and the ground.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
I don't know if I've got a vomit sound. Have I got a vomit sound? Oh!
Oh god.
This one is going to move in and attempt to attack the other one from behind, and he has advantage because he is flanking.
An absolute flanker.
Good. So both of his attacks hit, and given the power of his attacks, yeah, this guy also just dies.
Yes.
So that's one of those.
Jeez, I hope we have someone to talk to in the end of this.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back watching it.
Yeah, that's how some of these guys. I could spout off some numbers and stuff that is supposed to mean things in D&D, but
Wouldn't understand them.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was actually a little bit worried that this might be a little too much for you guys, but seems I was wrong.
We learned things.
You learn things.
Yeah. Nothing as powerful as a fart.
It's quite duration as well.
It's basically tear gas in olden times.
Pretty much. Except that it's not necessarily olden times, it's just fantasy.
Good point.
The ammonia is strong in this one.
Ooh. He critical hit the leader of the orange ones.
Oh shit.
So
We have to fight them now.
We may need to send in a Sarah recovery vehicle.
Yep.
Do we have to?
Well, he's still alive, is he? Or is he?
It's critical.
The leader falls unconscious as the
God.
blade cuts into his chest again, and he just collapses to the ground.
No balls.
Man, I'm gonna have to save Zaya.
Yeah.
Damn it,
so
warrior. Why did you have to go and get cut?
Your little eyes can do like blues and twos going.
It's an orangey amber light actually that emits from it.
Who's up next?
I'm just checking that out. There is one more.
Well, up next is Jonah Bob. Oh, never mind.
I'm a little worried about Jonah.
Yeah, no, he'll go there and he's going to attack Jonah Bob. Yeah.
Looking at my healing shit.
And both of those just bounced off of Johnny's armor.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, it's now Johnny's turn. Oh, hang on, I got to roll that guy's Constitution save. See if he throws up or
Ooh,
retches.
like,
He retches a lot.
Come on,
And-
retching. All right, nice.
We can put that.
I like how everyone's moved to the edge of the cloud. They're all
Yes.
like center or
Nope.
That hasn't dissipated
Okay.
either yet.
All right. Oh yeah, that's gonna be there for a long time. It's up to a minute. That is 10 rounds of combat, and most combat lasts like 3.
like it moves in the wind as well.
Yes, but this is underground. There's really no wind
That's
in
a
this
point.
part of the underground. Okay, Johnny is going to start attacking everyone around him. Just the guy who
Flame.
just tried to attack him recently. He's going to hit for both. And he does 18 points of damage, killing this guy, just cleaving him in 3 pieces, taking his head and handling it expertly on the javelin.
Excellent! Yay!
And then we can see if he starts to
Be sick.
Either way,
He
he'll
saved.
die happy. Nice.
so he's not sickened at all. Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
it's your turn.
Do I have to do the Spear of the Dying? How many hit points?
He has 0. He has 0 hit.
So I'd have to go do Spare the Dying. I'd have to move Spare the Dying.
Yeah, let me check out Spare the Dying because I have not looked at that in a bit. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable, but the spell has no effect on undead or constructs. Yeah, you'd have to go up and touch him in order to keep him alive.
Okay, so I could healing because he's unconscious.
You could. Hang on. You could heal him at a distance and give him some hit points, and that would do very much similar to the same thing as Spare the Dying. He would just start doing death saving throws, which is pretty much his life ebbing out if he starts failing them.
I can do. What's the difference?
Pretty much it's like Spare the Dying is I can't get to this person to deal with them right now, so we're gonna just make sure they're not bleeding out. And healing is like, okay, we're going to give you some hit points and you're going to like revive a little bit. So compared to we've stabilized him while he's unconscious, he is awake and alert with some hit points with healing.
Okay, so which one do you think is better? And I don't know.
If you really want to just like make sure that he just doesn't keep failing death saves, health. Not using Sparing the Dying because he's got 2 people on either side of him that could probably end up killing him.
Yeah.
Be that if you don't want him to die, give him some health points and possibly just keep doing that until the enemies are killed. Because if he's stabilized but he's still unconscious and they attempt to attack him, it's an automatic critical on any hit that they have, and that could they could
Okay.
just easily just shank him to death quite easily.
So I need to use either or Mass Healing Word.
Mass Healing Word could work. That's the wrong one. That's Colin's character sheet.
As long as it doesn't heal everybody around about him.
You can choose. You can choose what you to hit. You
They people.
you could also you can also wait a couple of seconds because these guys might die quite soon, and you could use Revivify.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And Revivify, they're within the
Revivify.
last minute. If they've died, is pretty much just brings them back from the dead because they're fresh.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, you could do something entirely different, possibly killing somebody, possibly healing somebody else, and then as long as you have third level spells, just come back and like Revivify.
I like that plan. It's kind of
Could we revivify the leader as well?
it's kind of evil. Then can I do Sacred Flame again? I mean, it seems like the only thing I really have for range attacks.
Yeah, you could. We'd have to go over some of your which spells you actually would like to have later.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, most of your stuff is like you're going to be up there smacking things, despite the fact that you were 10 inches tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sacred Flame is kind of your best bet if you don't want to be up close and personal.
Well, I could go up close to the one that's right at the foot of the stairs and do the inflict wounds melee.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do that?
Yep.
All right.
I want to hop on in there.
Yeah. That little speck
With my tenant self.
Flies up and casts Inflict Wounds, which how does one do that? Melee spell attack, and on hit, it does damage.
Do you get a flanking move on him too? Is he like facing away?
Actually, yeah. Since you're technically allied with, the orange one, he's technically flanked, so you will have advantage on this attack, which just means it makes it easier for you to hit people. Okay, yeah. That defeats his armor class. We're going to do this at first level. And you do. Okay. You see Sarah rush up, extend her little hand, like touch him on the face or neck, and you just see like all the life force just suck out of this already kind of gaunt individual. And he just kind of starts to wither into a husk and collapse as you do 17 points of necrotic damage to him.
Nice.
Ugh.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Okay. All right. So, does that end your turn? I'm just going to go with yes.
Yeah, that was really satisfying.
Okay. Dougie.
Yay.
There's a giant fart cloud. Somebody just died by being touched by a 10-inch fairy, and there's 2 guys left that are fighting the weird dudes in robes. What are you doing?
Having a look to see what I can do.
Yeah, let's look at your spells. I would not, emphasis on not, recommend using Fireball again.
I wasn't going to.
Okay.
When Trent said, "What are you going to do now, Dougie?" that opening of a can would have been perfect timing.
I've got a shocking grasp. Whatever that is.
That is a melee spell attack, which is pretty much just taser hands, but worse.
Do it!
Taser hands.
Or Ray of Frost.
Taser hands.
That's a Madonna song, isn't it?
If you want to absolutely make sure you hit somebody, Magic Missile.
Magic Missile, okay. The boy.
I really want to see taser hands.
the boy that's not downed. Because there's one guy who's got looks like he's farting at his arse.
Wait,
This
he's
on the
a
picture. On the
this guy.
picture.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
so
guy on the right of him. Yeah.
Symbol right or left will suffice.
That one.
Okay. All right. Do you want to taser hands? Because then you okay. Magic missile. I just gotta read up on some stuff for magic missile because Alright, magic missile. You create 3 glowing darts. The dart deals 1d4 force damage, and when it hits the target, you can roll hit magic missile 2 more times. If you decide to have all 3 go into that one guy.
Fire everything.
Then he would like cast it at 3rd level, and that's like 12 darts.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I'm going to see if there's any saving throws. That's the wrong one. I don't want to see if Johnny has any spells, because I know he has only 2. Yeah. So it just does it. There's no saving throw. Okay. Dougie, you reach out your hand and 3 glowing green little energy things just into this guy, and he takes 13 points of damage.
Take it.
He looks he looks to be about half as good as he was before. And you could possibly do that again if you use one of your sorcerer points and do what's it called? Quicken spell.
I'm just picturing Dougie holding fireworks, going magic missile.
Yes.
Where's
So-
quicken spell?
It is down in your features and traits. You have 5 sorcerer points, and it says underneath quicken spell. When you cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action, which magic missile is, if I remember correctly, you can spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to a bonus action from this cast. So pretty much, it means that you could cast it twice. Oh wait, no, sorry, you can't do that. You could do firebolt as a bonus action because it is 1 action.
So did he fire a guy who's already down?
No, he fired it into someone who could take damage. Right, so you could do Ray of Frost or Firebolt. Firebolt does more damage. And I'll take 2 of your sorcery points off. All right. That does hit. I'm assuming you're doing the same guy.
Yeah.
So click on Firebolt in the chat to see what the damage will be.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Fire
it says
2517.
yes, that's to hit. Then click the word Firebolt in the bottom of that little box, and it'll roll your damage for you. 12 points of fire damage. You blow a hole straight through his chest, and he dies.
Smell you later.
Yeah. All right. Does that end your turn?
Have I got healing spells? I could throw a healing.
You can move now, and that's pretty much your only option
Okay.
because you use your bonus action and your attack action.
No, I'm fine. I'll stay where I am.
Okay. I'm just updating my little list of things of all the people who are now dead that I can't play as.
Well, it looks like there's only one guy in the red that's playable, and he looks like he's on his knees.
Yeah, I'm making sure because I got a little notepad right here in front of me. Okay, which brings us to this guy. I'm just gonna roll a Constitution save for him because I forgot if I did already. But oh, he really doesn't have anything for a con save. Fantastic, great. To see if he's just throwing up. He managed to meet the DC. He is not affected, so he's going to come out of the stinking cloud. That guy is dead, but can be revivified. So we're gonna skip over that. It's Paul's turn.
Sneaky Paul.
Alright,
You're
running through
just on
that
the edge of
cloud.
a stinking cloud.
I got a hand
I-
crossbow. Can I hit him with my hand crossbow?
I would suggest that you move over a little bit to try to hit him, but yes, these are definitely within hand crossbow ranges. So like
Am
over
I
here
in the
would-
cloud here?
the cloud center is right here, and if you were to like stand here and shoot at him, you'd probably be able to hit.
Give that a go.
Let me just look at your hand crossbow.
That guy's down, isn't he, a bit?
Well, he's on his knees anyway.
Right.
Hand crossbow. Oh, no. You don't
No.
have a hand crossbow. You have the ability to use hand crossbows without sucking
okay.
at it.
Oh, never
Alright.
mind.
You have a rapier, a short sword, and a dagger.
How far? He's way out of my range. I'll just skip my move.
You could. Oh, you
No, I
you
can't.
couldn't really
No,
reach anywhere outside.
I'm stuck up here with this bloke.
Yes.
I shall skip my move
Okay.
unless I can do anything to.
He's not able to move through the cloud unharmed.
No.
You can move. He'll move through the cloud unharmed, but he'll end his turn in the cloud and possibly have to roll a Constitution save. Otherwise, he'll start retching, and that's all he'll be able to do in the next turn until
Yeah.
he can.
And then when I start retching, everyone else start retching, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
so I'll stay up here.
What the?
Oh,
I got this
Okay.
bloke to talk up to up here. This orange guy. I'll have a chat with him. See what he's doing. Go out for a beer.
okay. 86.
86. I'm going to cast Healing Word. And
What?
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the leader of the wait, no. Oh, the leader of he's still down, isn't he?
He is still down,
Shit.
but that could raise him.
Will it?
Raise
Because
him
hang on,
up.
hang on. Let me check something.
But isn't that red guy still up? He could
He could. He made his death saving throw, so he's not. Once you succeed on 3 death saves, or at least 2, you kind of stabilize. If you fail on 2 of them, you die. Or if you fail on all 3, you die. If you fail on 2 of them, it just starts the process over.
I think this spell anyway just looks like a direct it's just against one. Yeah, it's a creature of my choice. So it's not like a a radius or anything.
And even with Mass Healing Word, you can choose who it goes to.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go Healing Word on the leader of the robe guys. The orange guy.
Okay.
Alright, back to chorus. Oh yeah, here. Level 1.
Okay. He now has. He now revives to 7 hit points.
Huzzah! He'll probably die in a second again, but huzzah!
well, there is a guy right next to him.
Well, yeah, but he's there. Okay,
You're not muted, whoever you are.
Paul. Paul.
Holy shit!
Weird.
Crackling thunder surrounds the.
Jesus,
Where did that come from?
that was a terrible noise.
Okay.
What?
We heard that whole crackalizing
Whole
of
thing.
doing.
I thought I pulled my mic out.
Well, you did not pull out.
Sounds like you turned it up.
I was opening a pack of pinballs. Sorry.
He's a
Like,
pinball
go to the
wizard.
mountain.
I have so many questions, but I'm not going to ask them right now. Okay.
Welcome back, Paul.
Thank you. Oh, Ravenblade. Sorry.
And Ravenblade. Ravenblade. Paul.
Hello, Ravenblade. All right, so
There's only one left.
the
Oh yeah.
the last guy looks around, and wait, is he in the radius? He is in the radius, so he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there retching, and so he needs to make another Constitution save to see if he is not affected next turn. Which he is still going to be retching. Okay.
Alright.
Is now this guy's turn. He's going to drag his leader away from the cloud, and that's going to be his turn.
Oh, nice.
And this guy's gonna drag that guy farther away to keep him out of the fray. Now it's Johnny's turn. Johnny is going to.
I think he should move out.
He's going to move out of the radius,
then
and he's going
throw a
to
javelin.
try to attack.
Throw a spear.
I'm gonna attack this guy. And he just, being in the gas, must have done something to him. He misses the first one, and once you critically fail, your turn kind of ends. And he just misses. For fuck's sake!
Aye.
All right, Sarah, it's your turn.
Can I go like next to and try and
I caught like half of that. I guess I'm gathering you want to move to next to somebody. You either want to kill them or heal them.
kill them? I want to kill that guy.
Okay, so you want to go next to the next guy and
Okay.
do the inflict wounds again.
My question is, will that give me the cloud?
If you go next to him, the cloud's radius, you could stand right next to Johnny and be able to attack without being hit by the cloud.
Okay.
So you want to go and inflict wounds on him, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There we go.
My new favorite thing. I like to.
Wait till you get
Touching.
vampiric. Wait till you
wanna get-
use vampiric touch, because that heals you at the same time as killing people.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
I need that.
All
Yes.
the good toys.
Yeah, that's the benefits of being a death cleric.
Yeah.
As she kills us to get her health back. Sorry, guys. I need this.
I need your blood.
I need this. Okay. You reach out to attempt to touch him, and you miss. While he's puking on himself, you rolled an 8 to attack. And since you do not have advantage, it would not be an 18. And you just barely miss it as he like jerks out of the way. It starts retching even harder. No.
That's like missing a bus at Sarah's size. Like you ran into
Right?
the bus and you
Right?
missed.
So,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. We're all
Embarrassing.
embarrassed. We're all
I hope
watching.
you guys can
So-
see that.
So that's the thing with D&D. The dice rolls can turn something that's really awesome into something that's really crap in like 2 seconds. Dougie,
Yes.
it's your turn.
I'm gonna hit that boy with
Fireball.
No,
Don't-
it's only he's the only one left. The missile
Yes.
is magic.
My missile is magic. I'm guessing 3 darts again on him.
I think you should go electrocute with your hands.
Oh.
Come next to me and join them off because we both miss.
Taser
Range.
hands. Taser hands.
Do it.
Okay, so the one magic missile that he has rolled is enough to kill him.
Dang it.
And just he only had 5 hit points left anyway. So it just like winds its way expertly through the space between Johnny and Sarah and just kind of blows
Damn.
out the guy's head. And the other 2 extra ones just kind of poop, just to make sure he's dead.
Double tap.
Triple, actually.
Triple tap, yeah.
Triple tap.
Into various orifices on his.
Well,
Well, that
Well.
takes us out of
Glad you-
combat.
Glad you added that last part.
This takes us out of combat. 86. Do you wish to drop the stinking cloud?
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll drop it. Yeah, drop it in stink cloud.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's
Spray a
hot.
little bit of deodorant in the air. There we go. We're all good.
Febreze.
Febreze. Sponsored by
Febreze.
Febreze.
This
For
video
realsies.
has been sponsored by Febreze.
You turn stinking clouds.
Other
Okay.
products are available.
So, the
Hi, I'm Barry Scott.
the various bald-headed individuals take up defensive position around their semi-conscious leader, who is just kind of recovering, and they all give you the side eye. Do you wish to loot the bodies, or do you wish to talk to the people?
We can loot bodies. Oh shit. Although, actually, I guess we better talk.
Oh, I better talk first, I think.
Yeah.
Just in case we get pulled up by...
Seems super weird to start looting.
And we killed all these people. Hang on, let's take all this stuff, and we'll worry about you later. Norse foreign policy for a very long time. Okay. I am assuming you approach the downed man, and he who are you, warriors? And he kind of clutches a wound over his chest that's still kind of healing as they apply like magic potions and stuff to him. I will say that your appearance is not I'm not ungrateful for your aid, but I'm still very confused as to who you are and what you're doing here.
Dougie?
Almighty leader.
Oh, phew. I can't, I can't even...
Well,
I'm,
well,
try-
anyway.
I'm trying to remember what we were fighting for.
We were sent
Truth,
here
justice.
Yeah, we were...
to find information, right? To get more information about the balls.
Yeah, I need more information.
I heard that smile,
about
Sarah.
my balls. The orb.
Orb? Ah, yes. He's kind of fighting through the pain at the moment. Yes, the beams of light. The throne of omens orbs.
If you tell us everything you know, and also other stuff that you maybe don't know, we might heal your wounds.
You dare threaten me? He kind of gets up from the ground because you're surprised with the amount of wounds that he has that he can actually do.
Yeah, but we can inflict more wounds.
Threaten him.
Our wizard had a few at the pub He's probably not thinking straight.
Yeah.
Make an intimidation check.
My
Which
God,
would
we,
be
we just saved our lives and over intimidating.
if yeah, on your it'd be underneath your skills in the eyes after insight above
Oh,
investigation.
I thought we were talking to. We were talking to the orange people, are we?
Can we
Yeah.
heal
We've
them?
just saved them. Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking to the
Oh dear.
red.
No, they're all dead.
They're dead.
All those
Listen,
guys
All
are
right,
dead.
sorry.
Oh,
That's
God.
why you won't get an answer.
I apologize. I thought we were talking to the dying guy that was crawling.
No, they're all very much dead.
Okay.
Can
So
we
we can just
heal-
retcon that a little bit.
No, yeah.
Can we help heal them? And they might.
We shall help heal you. And
Stuff.
and
Can
stuff.
we do that, Karen?
And possible
Yes.
information if you could help us on
You
our
can-
quest.
I'll just roll one of your lower end spells for Sarah.
Okay. Thanks.
No, that's not the one I want. Rescue wounds.
Can I
That's
heal
inflict.
Paul as well?
Do I have to come down? Do I? Or-
Um,
Not my move, is it?
I'm assuming you guys are all kind of in the same area.
Okay, I'll move back down.
Okay, so you can do mass healing then to get all of them. Yeah, that's what we wanted to. All right, everyone takes 6 points of healing.
What do we put that on ours? Do we?
If you've taken damage, you add 6 to whatever your current hit points are. So it's not a lot. Mass healing word is more one of those things where it's like, it kind of gets a bunch of people a little bit of health just to keep everyone going compared to, oh wow, I'm fantastically healed. Is one of those like.
I don't like that because it doesn't look like it.
Gives you what?
I was asking if I have any spells that are like not, you know.
You wanted to see if you have stronger healing spells?
Yep.
All right, so that would be cure wounds. And then you could upcast it.
Right? Or, oh no, it is.
Yeah.
You're right. Thank you.
Yeah, cure wounds is one of the ones that you know. Also, if you guys are ever wondering about a course of action, Sarah can cast augury, where she asks her deity a question about a specific thing, and she gets 1 of 4 answers back.
Which means what? Like.
One of
Like,
one of them's a couple of them are wrong, or 3 of them are wrong.
All right, so here's an example. Let's say instead of all the red guys dying, let's say you left one of them alive. You could ask your god with the ritual of auguries, say, hey, is there anything going to be bad in the next 30 minutes if we don't kill this guy? And you get 1 of 4 answers. You would get wheel, which is good stuff will happen. Woe, bad stuff will happen. Wheel and woe, there's good and bad to this situation, or nothing. Which is just kind of the cosmic shrug.
That's cool.
Go for it.
Oh, you guys are currently talking to the bald men.
Yeah.
Thank you for your healing powers. You get that from the way that they spoke in their native languages. They're just very intense individuals, and any aggression is just how they speak. I am Captain Ganzak. I was the commanding officer on the Shalag before it crashed into this forsaken desert. Who might you be?
I'm Dongle. I'm a wizard. We are currently on a quest for the Bone Lord Collector.
We're seeking information about the orb, omen.
The Orb of Omens.
That's what the quest is. There you go.
Ah, yes. The Throne of Omens. and its power orbs. We made our way toward one of the beams of light. This was the one farthest from any large, easily defensible position. One was within uh, a massive city to the northwest of here. And you gather from what he said that he's talking about the beam of light that was sent up by Sarah in the Oasis.
All right. Oh, that was
We
us.
came.
Was that us?
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah, I was saying that to him. That was us.
What? Should I tell him that?
Oh, okay, then don't tell him that.
No, maybe not.
That was us. No, it wasn't.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
When we arrived here, we found a destroyed orb up a floor or so. Its magical elements still residing within the fragile glass that it is. But it led us down to here, where we were encountered these Yankee scum.
Say what?
He nods over to the dead enemies.
Okay.
You do not know of the Yankee?
No.
No, we've only got one Yankee in our team.
Well, they are our sister species. Foul in all ways. They've been warring with us for hundreds of years. Thousands of cycles. Our ship was attacked by some of them and by something else before we crashed into the desert. Get me up. And the guys kind of help lift him up and says, Srock, get in here. And another one of these guys comes from east over this way. Comes through the doors and he's like, holy crap, is the fighting over? Yes. These creatures, and he kind of runs the crew that you all are. These individuals
Our motley
aided
crew.
us. These individuals aided us in our combat with Captain Grurad. Thank goodness he is now sleeping. The eternal sleep. And Srock kind of looks at him and is like, that was way too dramatic, but okay, you're my commanding officer. I'm not dealing with this right now. They're also seeking the orbs. We need to get back to our camp. For what it's worth, thank you for your assistance.
Do you need assistance getting back to your camp?
I would not turn it down. As you said, you are looking for the orbs as well. Any aid would be appreciative, especially that of healing. A number of our survivors, few though they may be, were in critical condition when we left on our search. We thought that perhaps the orb would allow us to lend aid to them a bit more easily, as our ship is completely fallen apart, and what supplies we have to treat our wounded are slim at best.
Yeah, we.
So-
Do you want to assist him with the healing? Sarah, I don't know if Sarah can we.
I could do it again,
Yeah.
I guess. Could I do it again?
You could do it again, but he's talking about people who are not here currently.
All right. Okay. Lead us back to your camp, and we shall share our healing spells upon your crew.
Yeah.
I'm
Was he
sure
saying that they have one and are looking, or
they were looking
orb.
for an orb here, but they found it busted because they thought it would help with the healing process.
Oh, okay. And they don't have.
I missed half of that, but I'm assuming it's a question about say they're wounded?
No, it's like
You're falling. I'm getting like half of what you're saying, but
I never heard any of that.
I'm guessing you're asking about the
mind.
orb that was here. Yes,
yes. Mm-hmm.
it's destroyed. He can confirm, and that was
Okay.
that was that powder that you saw when you went down the stairs that reacted to the light.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Grimlock will be very appreciative of any aid that you can lend to his patients. But we must be going. And he starts pushing on back towards the stairs that you guys came from.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with him back to camp.
All right, so you guys wind your way up through the tunnels. And they come out into the tent city, and Canto Iridius is just kind of standing around as the camp seems to be a lot more efficient than when you left a couple hours earlier. You've returned. Who are these? And he runs his eyes over these bald, thin, yellow greenish skinned individuals with sunken noses. I'm Captain Gunzak. Ganzak. Can't read my own handwriting. Holy crap. Ganzak. And who are you? Me? I am Canto Iridius, captain of the Starborn Legions. What business do you have in this temple? It is not a temple, it's a citadel. Get your ways right. You're looking for a mystical orb. Do you have any idea where it was? No, but we saw beams of color the few nights ago. As did we. We also saw a bolt of fire come from the sky and sink somewhere in the desert. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? I would say that is our wreckage. And how would you know of it? Walker. Walker? Why, the Starborn Legions ride on the wings of rocks. We do not simply walk to places. We saw them, as did our scouts. So, you were the birds we saw in the air. I didn't know rocks could fly above where they could breathe. What? Our rocks can't fly any higher than the air's thinnest. Then it was not yours, then. We were following something with wings, and you see Kanto already is kind of turn and think about it. Perhaps what we're looking for and what attacked you are one and the same. Perhaps they are, Gansek says. Maybe they are these watchers that the murals in the bottom of this place were talking about. Watchers? There's a myth there. You see him kind of ponder the idea just a little bit. Either way, these associates of ours, Ganzek says, they'll be escorting us back to our campsite, and I would do well with you if you forget about this entire happening. Canto Iridius just laughs a lot. You think I take orders from a measly... I don't even know what you are. But it seems that whatever business you're doing within Hua is done, and therefore our presence here is no longer needed. He turns toward Dougie. We'll be waiting back in the oasis. If you not find us there, well, the Dervish King has other plans for us then. I hope to see you again, as hopefully your service to the Bone Lord will be greatly appreciated. The Silver Mountain will send its regards. And he makes a very specific looking salute, with his fist starting at his stomach, and as he raises it up toward his chest to the side of his head, he opens it up into an open hand. May the crone guide you. Men! Claps his hands together, and they all kind of get to attention. They make their way over towards their birds and take flight into the sky. Pompous bastard, Ganzek says. But I happen to like his way. Reminds me of my superiors. Come! And he starts hobbling through the tent city to the northeast. We must make our way to our camp. Now it takes you a couple of hours to get to where their camp is. You see something that looks very similar to the Onyx Feldspar, the airship that you guys are traveling in, but it is much more angular and pyramidal in a lot of what's on the outside compared to the smoother lines that the airship had. In projection from the wreckage, you see what looks to be like a small field hospital has been set up, or a place to deal with a triage. And as your group comes up, you are met by yet more of these individuals. They're very hard to tell apart because they are very similar looking. But one in a blood-stained kind of apron comes up and greets the captain and says, "What? You've brought me more work, foolish man. Come, I'll take care of you. Who are these?" And he kind of gets him up onto a makeshift table and starts checking the wounds for like infection and stuff. I also assume that during this time you guys have stripped some of the bodies from the previous combat, so I'll give you your loot later.
All right.
Cool. These are they who helped take care of our combat with the Githyanki. Sir, you're very much in delirium right now. I need you to lay down. He just pushes him all the way down to the thing and starts like checking his eyes and the wounds some more. You said you ran into some Githyanki, and you feel that he's addressing the rest of you, as he's pretty much silenced the captain. He turns and looks at you.
Uh huh.
Oh yeah,
Well-
we ran into some and we killed them.
Thanks. Strock, check the engines again. They seem to be turning over when they shouldn't be. Strock kind of goes and disappears. You really do need to take better care of yourself, Ganzek. I can't save you forever. Some of these will aid in the healing process. Grimac. Don't trust my skills. No, I don't trust the amount of supplies that we have.
Why are you running out of supplies?
He turns and looks at you. Well, my ship crashed, my surgery is destroyed, and most of the people on board are dead. And those who are not took up a large amount of what supplies I had, and we're far away from any resupply. That is why my supplies are running out.
Is
Talking about it, isn't he?
Is there a way we could help you resupply?
If you can contact the Shadar, that would be fantastic, but I highly doubt you can. The rest, Sirach and them are probably going to be working on it for the rest of the evening, if not before then.
If we
Well,
can contact who? Sorry.
The Shadar, our sister ship.
Do we know where it crashed?
I shudder to think where they are right now. I shudder.
Last we knew, they had not crashed. They were still holding off the Gith, the Githyanki. Last we knew, before we entered the atmosphere, we came crashing down after something hit our starboard side, taking out half of the engines. The 20 of us that survived are lucky to be alive.
Did
Although
you see what hit you?
I was a little bit busy being bounced off the bulkheads and trying to dodge
Okay.
my surgery table. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
So with my sending spell or whatever, I can't
Uh,
send it though because it has to be someone I've already met. Is that a thing?
yeah, that's a thing.
Okay,
Does
scratch that.
when at the beginning when Sarah's eyes went up into the sky, was that a possibility of what could bring them down?
The beams.
Yeah,
Um,
because he says he doesn't know, does he?
he doesn't know.
Mm.
Don't blame me, Paul.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm
Oh,
thinking of a
you-
plot. I'm thinking of a plot twist.
You can think about plot twists all you want.
Okay, so that's not going to end then.
How far away is the Shadar?
I don't know. But
Where were
I
you?
just got
Where
the
were
sh-
you?
I just-
Where
I
were
just got the
where were you
Shadar
in your
joke.
where were you? Where were you in Shadar headed?
we were heading towards the southeasternmost pillar of light that we saw last evening.
And how far away is that?
Uh, even you can understand that you literally came from the place that it was.
All right. Okay.
Is there any way?
So was it Sarah that made it?
Out of character, no. In official canon, you don't know.
Okay.
Is there any way? What's that captain called?
Kirk.
Ganzak?
Cocky guy, Ganzak or whatever. Is there any way he can lend us a few birds to go look for the Shadar?
Oh, you're talking about Canto Iridius with the bird.
Oh, damn it! Yeah, that's what I'm
They're
picturing.
fucked up.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he's already left.
Oh, I was picturing being the same person.
Dougie, make us fly.
Okay,
I don't know if do
What
I have
we're
a
doing.
flying spell.
No.
What you have questions? I have answers. Ask them, Sarah. If
I
not,
just
type
don't-
them out.
I need to
I
go.
don't know
I need to go
who
to the
I-
loo. I'll be right back. Keep going.
we were looking for information, and orb is already shot. I'm confused what we're doing here now.
This guy might have information as to other ones because he mentioned that there were multiple. The one this
Okay.
was the farthest southeast.
So we have to go do a little mission for him. That's what we're.
They don't think you're capable.
I
At
mean,
least Grimac doesn't think you're capable of actually contacting their allies to come help them. And it seems like his major concern right now is taking care of the wounded, of which now that includes the captain and 12 other people.
So
Wait, we can bribe them for healing them, maybe.
what if like both me and heals?
I would say you and Hatter could take like the rest of the day and possibly a lot of tomorrow to like help stabilize people and help them heal.
Mhm.
Especially doing a lot of upcasting. That would probably just drain the rest of your spells until tomorrow. He would definitely be very much appreciative, or you could get enough, like, it would be enough, you have enough healing to get them out of the woods so that whatever Grimac is trying to do with his own instruments would be more effective.
okay.
Maybe like persuade them to give us the information if we did that. Maybe?
Yeah, it's a fair bargain, I'd say. Fair trade.
Okay.
So
Then I
let me
think I'll
get the
do that.
So let me get this straight. You're going to help me take care of my patients in exchange for information about these beams of light.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Captain, I've already agreed to this. Well, as the captain says so, and he looks at you like he's really in control right now. Mm-hmm. Fine, but please, let us tend to the wounded first. And you take the next couple of hours, making medicine checks and applying healing spells and just generally helping get these guys to a state where they are not in threat of dying and actually can move around a little bit underneath their own power, including Captain Ganzak. So, he says, as they kind of sit down to a meal of sorts within the wreckage of this very strange ship. It's even weirder on the inside than the Onyx Feldspar. Um, there's a lot of swirls, it's a lot of dark corners, and all sorts of things like that. And Sirach is kind of over in the corner fiddling with something magical looking. And there's just like this very meager rations. You don't even know what the hell they eat. It just looks very unappetizing, and it looks like it's traveling bread and other stuff, but you don't know what it's made out of.
Are they
And
vegans? Are they vegans? Oh God! Let's get out of here, guys.
there is definitely something that looks like a meat paste, but you have no idea what it was before then.
Spam, spam,
No.
spam,
Meat
spam,
paste.
spam,
Yeah.
spam, spam, lovely spam, lovely spam.
On a scale of 1 to spam, with spam being bull, this is probably about a 2.
Ooh, it's fine. I'll have some of that.
Pate.
Life of the pate.
Mm. Patty touchy on the left hand side.
Jesus.
Can I investigate the food, or was that just something silly?
Yeah, you can investigate. Oh wait, no, it would be if you were trying to determine what it was. This would probably be it's either nature or like medicine. If you're trying to figure out if you're gonna get sick from it or not.
She'll be
No.
fine.
Now the rest of the Githyanki, which are what not Githyanki, the Githzerai. That I confuse the two all the time. So I'm just gonna call them these monk dudes.
Nice. Okay.
Sweet.
The monk dudes are just like eating the stuff like it's normal. They don't seem to be put off by it at all. This seems to be what they normally subsist on. And they explain that the reason why they're actually here, they come from a place far above, and also from what's it called, the Celestial Sea, which is a different plane, but it sometimes merges over into what you guys call the sky or heaven, or the stars in some cases. They explain that they have been fighting a long and desperate, bloody war with their enemies, the Githyanki, and they have been drawn to this planet because of the ancient items of power that have long since come from here and still reside here. One of which is known as the Throne of Omens, which you've already heard of. They've had some contact with some different realms talking about a weird cult that's trying to activate it. And once it has activated, which they say that these beams of light indicate, it's gonna get uglier from here. And the reason why they're down here is not only to collect these orbs, but possibly also to destroy them, because the Githyanki want them as well, and would unfairly tip the balance of power. And also probably if the Githyanki get them, they probably just destroy everything and enslave everyone. And the Githzerai are just like, yeah, nah, we want to get it out of their hands. We want to uh, we don't have to worry about them or the possibility of them corrupting some of our own to try to become like the Githyanki. So they're very much on a search and destroy mission to limit the power and ability of the Throne of Omens as much as possible. And they're actually kind of, despite the fact that they're upset that they couldn't use it to heal their own, but they're kind of glad that there is one of these 6 orbs destroyed.
Mhm.
Here, at least.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So they're good guys. Okay, that's good news.
Should these orbs be in anybody else's hands?
Again, as that kind of turns to you, I believe they should be in no one's hands.
Should we be destroying these orbs if we find them?
If you value the longevity of your races and your kingdoms, yes.
Nobody look at me.
No, we're not looking at you.
We have ancient
She's priceless.
information that the orbs will take on a host's body in order to protect themselves to get them back to the throne of omens. But beyond that, they are harmless and he kind of searches. It looks like he's searching for a word that he has in his own language, but doesn't know if you have it. They are merely tools to an end.
Can't we
They
use
will at one point disengage from the host body in order to be used, but it is only a defensive mechanism.
So, what if the host doesn't want them?
Is one of them?
Doesn't want them. How if
No,
someone
the host
was,
has a choice.
does the host have a choice? Can the host?
If the host is knowledgeable enough in the arcane methods, they would be able to safely remove said orb from them. But if someone attempts without the correct knowledge, it could cause undesirable outcomes for the host.
Any idea where we could go? Just hypothetically, to find that knowledge.
There are a number of archives. You could also go to the Throne of Omen itself, or to an equally powerful ancient artifact.
do we want to find these others and then keep them for ourselves and use them for us?
Oh, I don't know, because I was thinking of going to the Throne of Omens and sort of
Yeah, I think that's
getting
pretty.
getting
good plan.
it out of Sarah.
Using all the other ones.
If we got one, if we get the others,
thing.
But if we
Tell me then now.
it's either that or would it help us if Sarah was still had it? That we went. If you still
keep it.
if you.
I guess, yeah, like
you-
no
if-
one knows Sarah has it, so
Mm.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
as long as no one knows.
and we could find the others,
we could go
and
to the others
use them
and
to
just,
our benefits.
destroy them.
Oh, the moral quandaries.
I think that's
What would you rather do?
long is to do mine last
Yeah,
for sure.
And then
Right, so
that gives us
gathering-
The knowledge
that
of-
gives us a potential advantage
yeah.
rather than
plus if it goes wrong and Sarah dies, at least we're like, hey, at least we saved the realm and all that.
yeah, and if she dies, then we can just easily extract it from her.
Yeah.
Just
When the light comes
cut
from her,
her
is
body
that
open
like
and
she can't help that, or is that
She really can't.
okay?
It just does.
But when does it set her off? You don't get angry or like excited or
It doesn't seem to be any way connected to Sarah's emotions.
So it's not like a monthly thing that she kind of gets a bit moody and
No, it is
God.
not connected that way. It seems to be it reacts more to when you're in areas that are connected to the orb itself,
Ooh.
such as when you're going down into the Citadel. It kind of directed you to where the remains of another orb was.
right.
So where did it when they came out first time? Where were we then? At the beginning of the game.
When it first started to like emit light, you guys were trying to figure out like, where did the orb go? What do we know about it? And Sarah's just like, I ate it. I don't know what's going on, and it guided you to people who gave you information, and were in essence, rather powerful individuals themselves, or
And then those flying guys turned up, didn't they?
So-
ye- So what?
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, like, so what was his advice, the guy? What was his advice to go to next to find more information about the orbs and
If you're talking about the weird elf dude with the book, he told you to kind of come to the place where you guys just had a big old battle.
yeah. And then we found the orb broken, so we're with him in camp. But I'm saying, like, that guy that we're talking to right now,
Mhm.
he's the one that's telling us to go where? I don't remember where you said to go to get more information about, like, getting it out of a host body or whatever. Because what if we find a orb down the line that is in someone else? We don't know.
He said that you would have to like check out ancient archives, and you've encountered one of those before with a Nestor with a king's library in the Oasis.
Yep.
And the alternatives he gave you was also to find the Throne of Omens itself, and that would probably just bring the orb out of the individual because that's where it's
Oh.
supposed to be.
So we don't want to go there.
Oh, that'll be last
Oh,
resort,
shit.
I think. That'll be last one.
So we're going back to the that place that was said before the Omens one then.
Yeah, the Throne of Omens is the out of what you guys would know, that's that place with the weird half elf guy with the red hood. That's where he was. In
Okay.
that room that has a bunch of marble in it. That's the Throne of Omens.
I don't think we should
I
go
don't-
there.
No, I don't know where
No.
to go now.
I guess we go to the archives. We either go to the archives or we try and do something about finding the
Yeah.
shitter
Shitter.
ships. I
You
can't
like
remember the name.
you
Find
like
the
that
shitter.
word, don't you?
Yeah, I think we should try that.
That vessel.
The as you're doing that, the thing that Schrock has been working on kind of enlivens, and you get this very crackly voice coming over in the weird language of the monk dudes, and you hear Schrock start chattering away, and he comes and he kind of whispers to Ganzak, and he says, "We've managed to make contact with the Shadar. They say that they'll be sending us a rescue team in order to evacuate us. If you wish to stay for this, you are welcome. But if not, you may leave."
So we
Uh-oh.
want to stay? See what they have to say.
And go back with them? But why would we go back to them? I'm just very confused.
You guys are currently sitting in a burned out version of their ship.
Yeah.
And you're the equivalent of you're sitting in these guys' mobile living room, and it's like, hey, we got guests coming over to help us fix up the place. You can stay and help if you want, or you can go where you want because we don't necessarily are holding.
Okay.
And we,
When
Bye.
these guys
Thank you
turn
for
up
your
from-
we should go to
hospitality.
where we should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should go for sure.
Okay.
Because I mean, the plan
But
anyway.
where? I don't
The
know.
plan was to either, or I guess once we
I'll change
found
again
where the
to
Shadar
Charlotte
was,
anyway.
we were gonna kind of leave it.
Well, the last place that you knew that had a wealth of information that would actually help you was the Oasis, where the beam incident happened
Hmm.
with the weird elf dude.
Then we should go back there.
Should take
Okay.
your body.
That's going to take you a while across the desert because you don't have the feldspar or the rocks.
So these blokes that come in to help these guys,
Mhm.
do they have any transport?
They are coming in a very large transport.
Go back with them, maybe. After they've talked
But
to people.
we need information from the archives at the Oasis.
All right, you don't know the capabilities of these ships. You assume they're kind of like the feldspar since you experienced that before, and that would cut down the 2 to 3 week journey between here and there to a couple of days.
So are you saying like they would give us a ride if we asked?
Hmm.
You could ask if they could give you a ride if you asked.
Okay, I think we should ask.
Yep, go for it. Do we have to roll for it?
Who's asking?
Go, Sarah.
Okay, I'll ask.
Okay. You ask if you can like travel with them or be dropped off somewhere. Ganzak says, kind of looks at you a little bit and says, "I would not. I would negotiate for you to be able to be dropped off where you wish or close to it. Seeing as you are also looking for these orbs and you seem inclined," and kind of eyes all of you, inclined to aid us in destroying them.
And kept them all alive.
We are. We're on the same team. Here.
All right. I shall
allies.
talk with the captain of the Shadar and arrange for your transport.
Thank you.
He kind of barks a few orders at Srock, and Srock goes back over to the little dais, and he speaks into it. And he seems to be relaying the information. The next day, you hear this deep thrumming coming from the sky. And when everyone comes out, you see a much better looking version of the thing that you've been staying in, kind of sinking down from the sky. And it lands, and one of the sides open, and a little like gangplank comes out. And an even more severe looking version of Ganzak just walks down, and he's flanked by more of these bald-headed monk dudes. And Ganzak comes out, and the conversation goes back and forth between them. And the gestures that he makes kind of indicates that he's talking about you guys. Like, these are the people who helped us. These are the people who need a ride.
Oh, sweet.
You are friends we saved.
Yep.
How much to the nearest town?
As this is happening, a shadow crosses over the open area between where the busted ship is and the whole ship is, and everyone kind of looks up, and you see this quick movement, and all of a sudden, 3 humanoid shapes land, kind of encircling you, and you see these things that look very much like the Watchers from the mural. Kind of ease up from the
Oh,
crouch that they
right.
have. And they just survey the situation. And the monk dudes just kind of stop and look around, and like their quick motions draw the attention of them. And there are 3 very noticeably different ones. One's very spindly looking, like someone who has been exposed or starved for quite some time. One is very, very wide, like a heavy bodybuilder, and one's just kind of like a normal humanoid shape. And they have kind of neutral faces on them, and it doesn't really look just like totally neutral expression. And they are about 10 feet tall, and they have a very wide wingspan. And they just look at each and every one of you.
Sort of remind me of Valkyries.
I was expecting them to be way taller. I thought they'd be like 10 foot tall or something.
Well, I mean,
So I'm
you've
just-
met something
I'm
that's
just-
7.
I'm just giggling to myself. Oh, yes.
They're almost twice Dougie's height, so especially compared to, I think you're like 4 foot something.
Oh wait, how tall did you say they were?
And I said they were 10 feet.
Oh shit!
What
Oh,
did
never
you think?
mind.
I thought you were joking.
No, I thought he said 10 inches. I was like, they're the
That's
goofiest
like that.
things I've ever heard of.
Like that
I thought
advert.
you were being funny.
That
That's
little
why I
alien.
No,
laughed.
I wasn't. Sorry.
Like-
And they're just being intimidated by these tiny little
Yeah.
things that are as big as Sarah. No,
Probably would be
they're
freaked
10
out. I'd be
foot
like,
tall.
"Ugh."
Like that little alien that lands.
Yeah,
Gets
it's fucking
crushed by a
being
car
all
wheel.
creepy, and weird. Alright, sorry.
The The more normal-looking one kind of steps up.
Who are you?
Ooh.
That's fucking
Sorry,
weird.
sorry.
I was scared. Creepy. I'm not scared. Shut up. I stand behind Dougie.
Stand by me.
I am Dongle, the wizard.
His head snaps toward you.
Oh,
What is your purpose here?
I have been exploring the galaxy for many years.
Our
Stephen
five
King.
5-year mission is we
I'm not even going to attempt any of those voices.
we need to search out the remaining lobes.
You seek the globes.
Yes,
How are you doing that?
our
Are you like breathing
our
in?
globes.
Yes.
You think that? Yeah.
I'm literally
We-
speaking backwards. It's weird.
That's
Oh,
cool. I
yeah.
can do it too. I never knew I could do
We are seeking globes. Maybe not.
It sounds a lot weirder to me because it sounds a little bit more robotic.
Well, the globes. Yeah, we are
That's
after the globes. The
Man, we get distracted so easily.
globes.
Oh no, this is about normal for D&D crews. Holy crap!
They do not seek us.
The very thin one says.
They do not recognize us.
Oh, that's like Twin Peaks. Fucking
Oh,
hell.
that was really creepy. It did sound like Stephen Hawking. It's awesome.
Perhaps they are our allies.
The larger one says.
Perhaps you're what? I couldn't hear that.
They're alive.
They are our allies.
That's good stuff, like that.
Oh, yes.
You think darkness is your ally?
Dougie, did you give
I
me your
was
soul throat?
born in it.
Ah, yes! Yes! That was great.
Dougie, did you give me your sore throat?
What a lovely, lovely voice you have.
Yes, the fire rises.
You think this gives you some sort of power over
Oh
me?
god, we're making him angry. We're making him angry.
That was great.
Anyway, the more normal-looking watcher kind of looks up and scans the air, and then he kind of keeps making the side-to-side head motion,
He scams
and
the
then
air.
he scans,
Oh,
and he
Wow.
focuses in on the little 10-inch fairy.
What?
Bum.
Uh-oh. Do you know something?
Thud, thud, as it takes a careful step forward.
You have the orb.
What?
shh.
What is your intention for it?
To be destroyed.
Do you want to keep them intact?
They are too dangerous to leave.
Yeah. Well, our plan is to seek out and destroy the others, and then once the others are destroyed, we shall remove from Sarah's butt the orb.
Why are you speaking like them now?
I'm talking their language.
He's trying to bond with them.
By
And
giving you
The
them.
Dawn of Omens has been activated. It must not remain active.
how can we shut it down then?
The orbs are both its power and source of destruction.
What?
The orbs are both its power and source of destruction.
Oh, so destroy the orbs and we destroy the throne.
Yeah.
No, the orbs are used to destroy it.
Oh, so don't destroy the orbs.
So we go find the others
Do
then.
we take the orbs to the throne and then destroy
Can we
the throne?
use it against the throne?
That's what I was thinking.
This throne will need to be used in order to destroy itself.
The thin one comes up.
The orbs will give it much more power than it had before, but it'll also make it weaker.
Where's Trent in this
Uh,
bit game here? He's
You're talking
disappeared.
nonsense,
He's
man.
I'm
disappeared.
confused.
More power, less power. It's
We'll
all
give it
yours.
more power, but make it weaker.
So do
Or
we
make it more
find the orbs?
exposed.
Do we find the
And
orbs and like overload the power? Put them all together, overload them,
Make it-
and
Yeah, go
blow
boom.
it up.
Can I just eat all of them?
Correct.
Yeah,
You must get
we won.
the orbs, and you must give them to the throne in order for it to then die.
Okay.
On its own, it wields great power, but with the orbs, it could make a god.
Right, do they know where they are? Others are then?
Where
Did they
can
take us to
we
the others?
seek out and locate the other orbs?
We have found one in your cleric.
Yeah, but we
Okay.
Yo.
well, she's our god, but we're going to use her to seek out and locate and annihilate the other orbs.
Yes, we are using her as a beacon, and we shall find the other orbs with her power. This
There are
is
two
yours.
across the ocean that your kind call the Inland Sea.
Hey, say, chaps, who's on our line? We're on a bombing run over here.
Whereabouts in the inland sea should we go to?
I love the idea of this conversation playing out wrong. Putting on voices and these people are just like taking it
Taking the piss.
seriously. They're like, what the fuck are these people doing?
It goes across the Inland Sea to one of the other kingdoms.
Can you show us on the map?
You sound very like Bane. You sound like Bane.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
Uh,
What they are talking about is they're talking about the countries on the other side of the inland sea, which is Sarand and Gant Evos. Once I upload the correct map for this,
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, but I asked them if they know.
if they know where the other ones are,
Yeah, across the inland sea or whatever.
Surround Sarah MD. What does it mean, Sarah MD?
I did not make that connection. Holy crap! Okay, they indicate that there are two of them somewhere in the center of Sarand, and that the Throne of Omens actually is in the mountain range north of Sarand.
Morty Spire.
North Spire.
North Spire, sorry. I read that wrong.
We're going to Northfire?
The
I
ends
said
are
north.
really weird. Oh, oh yeah, you guys are on this. Yes, North Spire, somewhere within the North Spire range, is where the Throne of Omens is kept.
Wait. I'm asking them to go, and they're saying toward the omens.
They're saying that the throne of what they're pretty much saying is that one orb, one or two, is enough to possibly destroy the Throne of Omens. If you destroy
Oh.
all the orbs, Throne of Omens will not reach its full potential as one is already destroyed, but is still powerful enough to be a problem.
So we need to go. I think we need to go to Sarah's MD and get the other orb. That means we have two. And we
If we
can
get
use
two-
we can use that to destroy the throne of omens in the Morty Spire.
If,
No,
if we get one, Sarah's one, that will destroy her, won't it?
We've got one, but we need one.
Yeah, but will that destroy Sarah?
No, because we need to.
Probably.
We'll extract it out of her.
So if we get another two, then
We can
that
get
might
it.
save Sarah.
Yeah,
if we
but they said
do
there
on that.
She'll
there
have
was
2 balls.
Yeah,
we
well,
can always
I
we
would
can
like
check
to have
the
eyeballs.
we can always check the archives and see if
yeah,
we can find someone who
we can
Really
kill
don't
him
wanna
who's capable of removing it.
because we only need 2 others to destroy and then we can keep the one that Sarah has. for
Did the
her
bone
powers.
did the bone collector,
Denzel Washington.
Bone Lord.
the bone lord, say
Mhm.
what was the what did we have to pick up for the bone lord?
You had to pick up an amulet referred to as the Rising Sun, and you also had to deal with these orbs.
Right.
Mm.
So,
Quest right now.
The quests kind of go in line with each other.
so I think we should go to Sarah's MD.
Show
Yes.
that there's another.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Is that-
Yeah, there are a number of the watchers indicate that there are at least 2 orbs within Sarand, 1 orb north of North Spire. There's 2 orbs technically within Olton. One of them happens to be you, Sarah. The other one is destroyed.
Oh.
Oh well, it looks like
Get-
Surround
Yeah,
is the
Saramd. Let's go to Saramd.
So
Let's go to
is
my
it not
homeland.
1, 2, 3.
Your homeland is Senless, not Sarand.
So what are these fortifications above the words
Yeah,
around?
it's got to be my home. It has my name in it.
Those
Yeah.
tiny things are those are towns that take place in another part of the campaign. Those 3 things are just pretty much.
There's nothing there of interest.
Well, there is, but you wouldn't know that.
Okay. Will we get lucky and find an orb in one of them?
They just indicate that somewhere in the middle of Sarand are these orbs.
Okay.
Ooh, so we
I
could go
think
to
we-
these.
We should.
I mean,
go
Sarah's
right.
beacony thing will probably start kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We need to go to Saramd. Could we
Yeah.
borrow a flying eagle?
The monk dudes are like, well, if there's 2 over there, we obviously need to go there as well. They
Well,
start
We-
and they start kind of filing into their ship.
Can we hatch a lift?
yeah, we get one.
Ganzak is like, well, since our interests align, I don't see why not.
Excellent.
Thank
and
God for the
the-
Uber app.
The
we should probably thank the flying creatures. Thank you, flying creatures.
You
The,
are very awesome, Mr. Flying Creature.
Yes,
We are
Our fellas have
accompanying
given us.
you.
we appreciate them.
We appreciate you. Yes.
and
We are accompanying you.
Oh, you're coming with us. Excellent.
Oh God, really? Oh no.
You can't-
and like the other 2 just like start going to like one of the cargo hatches, and you see series of runes just like appear on their forearms after they like wipe their hand over it,
Oh, cool.
and the thing opens up without them even touching it, and they just kind of climb in, and the monk dudes are like, okay, this is happening.
Like no one wants to sit by him on there.
Nope.
Sad.
Mm.
the boat seems to have lots of rooms now.
I'm Batman.
And you think this gives you some sort of power over me?
What?
They're gonna throw us off the ship in midair, aren't they?
You don't know. They can fly on their own.
Mm.
Hey, they saw
Which
the
is
Dark
why
Knights
it's even
that are-
more bad.
Also, on a side note, is Twitch after dying, or is it just my? Oh, never mind.
Just yours.
Right, so we're heading to Saramand.
Saruman.
Saramand.
Well, this is much the cliffhanger.
Okay.
I can't think of much more of a giant bird people
Yeah.
with an alien ship and mission to end on. So we actually remember what the hell happens next time.
You haven't seen Borderlands 2.
Well,
Well,
this ends today's session.
Good times.
I did not catch any of that.
you need to do like end of episode cliffhanger.
Oh yes. Find out next time what happens when we shove 3 giant bird people into a comparatively small spaceship.
Do it in your bird voice.
Bird voice.
Yeah.
Find out the next time what happens on the ship and what happens to the party when they find the next balls.
If I hear that in my sleep tonight, I'm
Yeah.
going to
I didn't. I like doing that voice, and I can do it for a long time. I just didn't expect you guys to be so terrified of it.
It took me
It's
3 months to
just-
get over the
I know.
grudge.
Wearing headphones is fucking weird.
Thank you for watching this stream.
Right.
And it's awesome
Does anybody have any lozenges?